a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Steam play.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, January 14th. Got a great sports betting day ahead here with NBA, NHL, college basketball as well. Nice Wednesday card here after the action on Tuesday night. Hopefully you had a great night with your winners, and man, the steam is popping off here already, so we better get on the air so that we can catch some of the moves here. When you hear that that famous saying here, you know that one of the games is on the move. And just seconds ago, as we were coming on the air, we just had some steam rolling in here right now on St. Joseph Hawks. That's who got us started today. St. Joe's taking the steam against Bonaventure here at home. St. Joe's was getting 2 points, but steam has just come in a few moments ago. And right now, Bonaventure here still. They might be a favorite still right now with this one. It's on the move, and right now we're seeing it currently at 1. So a little bit of a move there on St. Joe's get us started, but there will be plenty because we got a huge card of college basketball. I'm hopefully going to get to around 7, 8, 9 games today in the previews because, we got a 7-game NBA card, a 4-game NHL slate. So I think mostly we're going to cover some college basketball. There's no blockbuster tilts necessarily. Got plenty of big conference action here tonight to talk about. We'll try to pick out some of the best games and get your views as well from the chat all-stars, and gonna have some fun today with you guys and go over these matchups. So thanks for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Great college basketball certainly last night. Some great tilts in here. Tried to pick out some winners on the show here yesterday in college basketball and in the pros. We did have a few winners here on the Morning Steam show yesterday, including Tennessee and Texas A&M. We had the game 2 go over here on the show yesterday with the A&M and Tennessee, one of the big matchups of the day, man. Well, they might have needed overtime in that one. Might have needed 2 overtimes in that one, and Tennessee got the win 87-82. The Aggies led that one by 11 points in the first half. A&M maybe didn't get quite the ref's whistle that Tennessee did in that one. Tennessee goes to the line 42 times, A&M just 32 times, and it made the difference as the Vols won that one. We also had a winner here on the Morning Steam Show with Virginia in their game against Louisville yesterday. Virginia got the money there for a winner here on the show. As the Cavaliers never trailed in that one, winning 79-70. Virginia's won 4 in a row, 10 of their last 11. You really got to take a long look at them, especially with their attractive championship odds. They're a pretty good team. They're not maybe considered among the best of the best yet, but also Louisville, Mikael Brown did not go again in that game, so he's missed 7 in a row right now. At least Louisville had their other big star, but it wasn't enough as Virginia led all the way there in that one. And we had the winner here on the morning steam show there yesterday. So hopefully you guys brought home the winner with me. How about Indiana and Michigan State? We had the winner here on the with the under that one with Indiana and MSU brought home the winner there. Also, we had the Florida Gators here on the show. Did we win all these games yesterday on the morning team? We had Florida to win and cover in that one on the road, and the win over Oklahoma there yesterday. So brought home another winner there with the Gators as they were able to down Oklahoma 96-79, easily covering that road number there. Also, we had Kansas. I did. I don't know if you guys did in the chat. You guys were overruling me in that one, but Kansas got the win, handing the Cyclones their first loss of the year after that 16-0 start. Kansas won by 21 points, shooting 50% from the arc in the game. They also led at halftime by 21 points. Think about Kansas. They are 12-5. I understand that, but they played the second toughest schedule in the country so far this season. We had Kansas here on the morning steam show yesterday. And also late night, we had the over, remember, with Maryland and USC, even though I had Maryland as a premium there yesterday. It did go over, but man, I couldn't find the winners there with the premiums yesterday as Maryland got blown out by SC. We did have the over here on the show in the 88-71 win as USC continues to look good. I thought 9 points would be enough. We needed 18 points pretty much in that one as SC did roll, but at least we gave you the winner here on the morning steam show. It was a real good day for the picks in college basketball, so I'm glad we have a lot more college basketball picks to look at today because we're going to need those winners here on a Wednesday, and hopefully you guys did as well. Man, let me keep rolling this steam with you guys a little bit. I'm not sure we're going to be able to keep up. It's going to be mostly about the steam here today. Sacred Heart and Siena taking some steam right now on the under in their game today. It was 143 in the game between Sacred Heart and Siena, but the steam has just come in here on that one, and we're down here immediately to 141 or lower here with the steam coming in. Sacred Heart and Siena under right now. Also, just seconds ago, UL Lafayette took the steam here in their matchup today against Texas State. UL Lafayette was getting 9.5 points in their matchup with the Texas State Bobcats, but all of a sudden here comes that steam that we give to you, and we're seeing 8, even 7.5s here right now at DraftKings as UL Lafayette taking that steam against Texas State here this morning. And we'll keep passing it along to you, all the moves coming in here over the last several minutes on the morning steam show. There will be plenty more there. Hey, we did have some also brought home some winners yesterday here on the show in the NBA as we had the Miami Heat. I had the Miami Heat. I know a few of you did as well. I know there's some Phoenix love out there. I got a great concept coming your way too. We're going to package these plays up. I might need another week on it, but we're going to start packaging these plays up and making I want to say some copy that'll be readable, and all of your plays, that you put into the chat here on the show. I'm going to kind of gather those up, throw them through the AI, and have a story out where all your picks will be kind of capsulized for consumption. I don't know how we're going to get that to you yet. I've been trying to get us on
Steam Play
on the internet with a website. Maybe we can bring to you some copy and stuff like that. Also, right now, UL Lafayette and Texas State, we're seeing some steam here to the under in that game. We just mentioned the move on the Bobcats, so this must be personnel related because we're seeing steam to the under as well here at 132. Immediately, we're down here to 130 at Circa. So we've just seen a big move here on the side and the total in the game between Lafayette and Texas State there. So more steam coming in right now. Okay. Also, right as we were coming on the air, Baylor and Xavier got steamed here from 159 here all the way up here within the last couple of minutes here. This one might be a little bit stale right now, but still, just as we were coming on the air, Butler and Xavier got steamed here, and it's up to 162. That's about a 3-point move, actually, so that's probably worth talking about there with Butler and Xavier. Look, we can only cover about, like I said, I got 7, 8, 9 games, something like that, and they're probably what 50 or 60 games. So we will be checking in here with our steam moves here all morning long. So, okay, we had winners, though, on the show yesterday, Miami Heat. We also had the Spurs and the Thunder to go under in that game yesterday. So, hey, it didn't quite work out for San Antonio this time. I know I was wrong here. You guys were right in the chat on that game, taking Oklahoma State, get their revenge against the Spurs. And I did have the under, though, as my play, remember, on the show officially. So also did have other winners here on the morning's team show yesterday included Portland and Golden State game goes under there as Golden State whipped up on Portland there, but we went under in that one and had the winner on the show. Also, hockey winners on the morning's team yesterday include the Washington Capitals in their under. We had under with Montreal and Washington yesterday in a 3-2 win for the Capitals, but we also had the Boston Bruins there over Detroit yesterday in that one, 3-0. Didn't get all of our sports money premiums. In fact, I went 0-2 there with the sports money premiums yesterday, and also, we did bring home a winner with Edmonton and Nashville game to go over in the 4-3 win for Nashville. Pretty sure someone in the chat said it was going to be 4-3. Probably Greg, I would guess. I don't know if he had Edmonton. That's what I'm going to try to do is make sure we get our plays out there for everyone to see. Toronto and Utah did have the over in that one, 6-1. Utah got the win there yesterday as part of our day with our morning steam winners. Okay, Radford is getting steamed right now on the added board today. We got to take a look at the added board here with Radford. And Radford was a 12. They were an 11-point favorite early on against Gardner-Webb overnight. Those those added games, they took a while to put them up on the board there late last night. But Radford here is taking the steam right now. Man, this one's gone up for sure here from that opener of 11 here. And we're seeing this one move higher right now with Radford and Gardner-Webb. Man, all these games at 7 Eastern tonight, big card right away out the gate. Radford is now up to 13.5. It looks like they got to 14 a second ago and they bought it right back, but still 13.5. There'll be a lot of moves here in a second, I'm pretty sure. So stay tuned here on the morning steam. Keep your apps ready. Keep your apps open, waiting for the game that you want to pounce on. We'll make sure you're ahead of the curve here. Let's say hello to the folks in the chat and who's going to join us today for a great day of sports betting, including
Steam play.
Nicholas Handy. He's here. He deserves some steam right now. Vanderbilt and Texas taking some steam here right now to the over. I think this is in our preview here today. Vanderbilt and Texas. Of course, we got to have Vandy in there with their undefeated record right now. It was 165, but we are seeing steam to the over here with Vandy and Texas at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. And right now, that game is up to 167 right now. 2-point move there, it looks like. Vanderbilt and Texas. Hello to Nick Handy. Gash Kane is here today. Bobby Mack is ready to go. Let's see here. Thomas Lewis is here today, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Greg had his winners yesterday in the chat. And let's see who else is joining us today. There's Nuke as well. Maybe will we get any breaking news on the coaching front? Are these owners going to be taking their time right now, still figuring out? And I don't know if I watch pre-gaming every day here on the Sports Money Network, and I could hear the resignation in Mikey Money's voice as it becomes more and more apparent that Mike McDaniel is a candidate on the Philadelphia Eagles list for offensive coordinator. But he's on more than a few teams' lists, so that's for sure. Here, but don't want to piss him off here too early. But all right, steam here on the over UAB and Tulane breaking here just now. It was 150, and we're seeing this is on our preview today. UAB and Tulane, believe it or not, we picked out not just the best games, but some important games in their respective conferences. The thing about UAB and Tulane, this game was opened as low as 147.5. Right now we're seeing it up to 153 here. I know it's going to be a good game, but I don't know if it's going to be that good. UAB and Tulane taking some big time steam on the over here right now. Make sure you like this, like it, smash it, pass it around here with our show here this morning. And see who else is going to join us here. Great comments from everyone in the chat. There's Flea Mathis ready to have some fun with us as well. There it is. Greg told me too late there in that one because I took Maryland. Now he told me. Public Enemy has chimed in here today. 55. See, Nuke, I knew it. I said 50 or 60. I guess it was right in the middle there. Fernando's here today as well. He'll give us some plays, I think, and maybe we'll peek at the soccer card today. We got action in Serie A here today with a couple of games. We've also got Bundesliga action. 4 games in Bundesliga. Copa del Rey continues. Carabao Cup as well. African Cup of Unders going here today as part of the action. And action tonight in Mexico. In fact, my Tijuana Xolos in action against Querétaro. That's, of course, Loshak's favorite team. All right, here's M the Great. He says, good morning as well. Thank you, guys. I made it for the show. And let's see, there it is. Robert's ready for those African Cup games today with Egypt taking on Senegal and Morocco taking on Nigeria. Some powerhouses in the AFCON. Right. Let's see here. I think we got all the guys in ready to go. Our Thompson is here today, winner of the contest yesterday. Don't know. She caught it there. I don't know if I even I got to put the extra time on there, I think. Terrell says, why is Miami of Ohio unranked still? I mean, come on. No respect here for the MAC at this point. Well, we got some other undefeateds, but yeah, come on. Miami of Ohio keeps on rolling. Hey, everyone, you can get more picks from me today when you go to winnable.com/Ramon. This is where I have more timely information. Hopefully, I'm going to give you a bunch of winners here today on the show. We're going to cover the games here, but if you want more picks from me, you can get them, and I usually try to shoot them to you 30 minutes to 60 minutes before game time here. And we had a mixed bag of winners yesterday with the premiums. Like I said, I lost the NHL premiums yesterday. I was a little tilted after that, but we did have one winner in pro basketball with the Houston and Chicago game to go over. Randall, really, I had under in the Milwaukee Minnesota game with the Minnesota with Ant out, but Julius Randle stepped up there big time there, and we kind of brought home just one winner on the tennis scene, or no, two actually, because we had a holdover or a late match from the other night, but we had Ugo Humbert laying 2.5 games against Talon Griekspoor for a winner. College basketball winners included George Mason minus 7.5 over Loyola. We also had Duquesne and Dayton under in that one, and we also had Syracuse minus the points, but I think we ended up just 3-5 though in the premiums there, a little bit tilted. Also had tennis winners with Schneider over Layla Fernandez, but it was a holdover match. Was Baez over Jensen Brooksby, brought home a plus money winner there on Tuesday. All right. So, hey, I got to be better. Check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon, and you can be eligible for a drawing that will get you a free 1 month subscription here at the end of the show. All you got to do is type in anything into the chat. When I say anything, it could be a pick, a number, a hello, and you'll be eligible here for the drawing at the end. But you can just subscribe over at winnable.com by using the promo code STEAM and save 20%. If you choose 1 month, it'll be about 38 cents a day. I'll put on an extra week for everyone that signs up today. I'll give you 5 weeks there for about $17, and it's a good value. A lot of plays from me, especially on the weekends, and you get all my top plays, my sports money premiums here, handful of plays in the other sports as well. So join me. Okay, there's some steam that just came in here right now with Coastal Carolina and Marshall. We had some steam to the over here right now, including it was 148 Coastal Carolina and Marshall, but some steam came in here just moments ago. Right now, we're seeing this number currently here at 150 and a half right now at Bovada. Big move here. Coastal Carolina and Marshall moved to the over here at 150 and a half. We're about ready to go here with our plays here today. And Jermaine is here. So, okay, we can start now. Jermaine made it, and we're ready to go now. Let's get going here with our action today. We'll put the college aside for just a moment because we're going to go over here to the NBA to get us started with that 7-game card here. And we're just about set. All right, time to do NBA previews here. Look, it'll still be. I think I can keep you around for 2 hours if you'll let me. Got 4 dozen of you in here right now, so that's time to start the show. But like I said, I think the big focus on college basketball today with some of the games that we're going to have here today. Some teams putting their undefeated records on the line. Let's go to Toronto and Indiana here. Indiana, what can you say about Indiana? They've really started to finally come on a little bit here with 3 consecutive wins. Look, it might just be a matter of time with these guys. Not that they've got a long way to go, and they're not getting anybody healthy here very soon. It's just been a rough start. Really put themselves behind the 8 ball here. Might be a little difficult right now to make the postseason. Right here, they're basically nearing their halfway point. They're 9-31, but hey, they've won 3 in a row here coming in. That wins over Charlotte, Miami, and Boston. They've also covered 4 straight coming in. For Toronto, meanwhile, they're coming in off of a loss to Philadelphia. Actually, they split one of those back-to-back games there. They were both in Philly. Philly won the first, Toronto won the first one, then Philly won the second one between the two, but Toronto's actually lost 2 of their last 3. Toronto's 9-15 to 9-15 against the spread as a favorite this season. Indiana continues, like I said, 13-9 at home against the spread for Indiana. So as bad as they've been good enough to at least get the money in some of their games. Hey, we got some steam here real quick in college basketball. It's on the added board, and it's Winthrop taking the steam here right now. One of my favorites. Winthrop was actually a 1-point dog here against High Point. They bumped up High Point. They kept bumping up High Point. Winthrop kind of opened as the favorite in this game, I think. Let me try to find it here and see if I can analyze the line move here a little bit in this one. I know it's a 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 start. So Winthrop actually opened here as high as a 2.5-point favorite. High point then was bumped up here to 1.5, but now we're all the way back here to Winthrop as the slight favorite in that game over High Point. Important game there too. High Point coming in 16-3. Almost maybe we should have included this game in the preview with High Point at Winthrop today. That's going to be probably one of the better games on the board as far as competitiveness and decent teams playing. I know they're no compared to those other teams, but that's a pretty good game. Also, just seconds ago here, we have another move in Temple versus Memphis. Seeing some steam here in this one to the over in the matchup between Temple and Memphis here tonight. It was 144, but we're seeing that steam come in right now in Temple and Memphis, and that total is up here too. 146.5 here, 2.5-point move right now. Temple and Memphis team to the over. Be ready, listen for your game. That way you might be able to get on these moves here. You might know which books are slow to move, and you can be ready when I pop in these plays when that steam comes in. So stand by. Keep it rolling here, though, right now with our matchup between Toronto and Indiana. We talk about Indiana's recent success. They've covered 4 out of their last 5. They've still lost 10 of their last 13 games coming in. Toronto's actually won 6 of their last 9, covered 6 of their last 9, and have covered 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. But look, the Raptors are a road favorite here, and like I said, they're not a great road favorite at this point. They're not a great favorite, period, at this point. And Indiana's maybe turned it around a little bit here. Maybe the spread's kind of caught up, though. In fact, I'm showing right now Toronto starting to get up there to 3. Circa just moved to 3 here just a few moments ago, so it could be a little bit of a sharp move in there today. And also I'm seeing the total here moving rapidly to the under here. I don't think this has been a steam move as far as the game is concerned, but I'm showing Circa all the way down here to 221.5. Here from it opened like 224, but we're seeing this move. I gotta update that graphic here. I think this one's moved so far here. I'll call it 3 just to kind of indicate where the move is going. You can maybe grade me at 2.5 because I do want to take the Indiana Pacers here in this one at home against Toronto here. Hey, wasn't that a nice touch there the other night in that game against Philadelphia? Of course, you got Nurse coaching over there at Philly, and he was put Lowry in at the end of the game, the great Toronto Raptor who did so much for that franchise, and we put him in there at the end of the game. Got a huge gave me chills there. I was on the air with the guys, but we were watching it. It was Monday night, right? They weren't really watching it, so I didn't want to get all emotional on it. But really, that standing ovation lasted a long time there. All right, the markets have been open here, and man, we're just going up here big time right now. What's going on? What's going to happen today in our world? What next? Here we're going to drag more women out of cars, or what are we going to do? All right, VCU and Rhode Island. We're seeing some steam here to the under in this one with the Rams versus the Rams. I'll take the Rams in that one. That's the top of the board right there, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, VCU and Rhode Island. Move here. They shouldn't be able to put, when they have made the new conferences there, you can't have the same nickname. You got to change your nickname, all right? 149.5, and it's gone lower here right now with VCU and Rhode Island. In fact, we're down here in this one to 146. This one is flying, and all the other books are a little bit behind. When you see Circa go to 146, you better look at the other books and get moving here. Like I said, you could be at 146 right now at Circa. Bovada's way behind at 148 under 15, and they'll be catching up here in just a moment. The Rams are going under right now. Just seconds ago, South Carolina and Arkansas. We're seeing a move here to the under with South Carolina and Arkansas. The Cocks and the Hogs steam to the under here. It was 157. Now we're seeing a move here with South Carolina and Arkansas. And right now that game has moved here to 156. So about a 1 point move there. The other books are a little slow to draw there with the under. South Carolina and Arkansas. Stay tuned for more. All right, I'll take the Pacers here, and let's see what you guys have in the chat. We got lots of people revved up and ready to go. Here's Cash Kane. He's on the under in this one. Thomas Lewis is chiming in. It's good to have Thomas in here today. He's got the Pacers in this one. Greg says Indiana keeps rolling right now. They'll win the game, he says. BI under here, says Jermaine. I think, let me take a look at this here. I want to run down this injury report a little bit for Toronto here. Jacoby Walter is out. Mahmoud Kalashvili, he is questionable in this one. Barrett is out as well for Toronto. Hepburn is out. So you can see where we are in terms of Toronto here. Definitely have some guys out of this lineup. Meanwhile here, they are dummying it back up here all of a sudden. That total, I said 221.5, and then here we go. All of a sudden, it's going back up here to 223.5. There is some movement on this total, and we're talking about it right now. All right. Let's see. Thomas says, don't Toronto and Indiana play every day against each other? They played back on the day after Christmas. Toronto got the win, 97-95, but they did not cover as a big favorite at home. However, they did win at Indiana as a 6-point favorite already here this season back in November, 129-111. There is Greg. He says the dog. It's Wednesday, so they'll be barking Roberts on the Raptors here right now. Indy money line for Jermaine. And see if we got the picks in here. That might be it. Jermaine talking BI there again. But yeah, looks like some injuries there for Toronto, or some guys would need a little better status, a little bit. Okay, better take care of that one. I'll take the Pacers. Let's move on to Cavaliers here on the road, taking on the Sixers in this one. You've got here the Sixers. Looks like they are the favorite here. 1, maybe even 1.5. Circa's at 1.5 right now. Total mostly about 237, 237.5 here in this one, with the Cavaliers coming in here. They've been alternating wins and losses here over the last several games. They're in off of the loss to Utah at home. Utah stunned them as a 13-point underdog. Utah won that game by 11. Cavs are a little bit inconsistent for sure. They've been one of the worst spread teams in the league, despite a 22-19 record. They're just 13-28 ATS. It's bad. It's bad. For Philly, meanwhile, they're one of the best favorites in the league. They're definitely a favorite today. No one has Cleveland as an underdog here just yet. Philly is 17-5 straight up as a favorite, 14-8 against the spread as a favorite. They're also 23-14 ATS overall. They've been a very good spread team, although just 9-10 against the spread at home. They've been a better road cover actually, but again, Cleveland not very impressive ATS this season. Philly comes in off of that win over Toronto we just mentioned. So for Cleveland here, they are 10-7 to the over on the road. Philly, meanwhile, they're going over here of late. Philly's gone over in 8 of their last 12 games overall. Also, 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Cleveland's defense kind of takes hold more at home. They do have a little bit more trouble right now on the road. It's probably been a little bit of their problem too, giving up some points now and then on the road and losing these games. But Cleveland did beat Philadelphia 132 to 121 at home, but they didn't cover. They were favored by 11.5 on that day. They won by 11. Give them credit for a pretty easy victory, even though they didn't get the money. They only have to win this one. It's a pick 'em, so that's basically about a 12-point turnaround on the spread here coming into Philadelphia for this meeting just a couple of months later. We can go to the chat in this one and see what you have. Cleveland is just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games against the Sixers, despite winning 4 of the last 5 meetings. Philadelphia did win at home last season, almost 51 weeks ago, 132 to 129. Philadelphia got the win at home. They were a 9-point underdog in that game. So it really just shows more about Cleveland here right now. Hey, some steam coming in, Niagara and Canisius. We cover it all here on the Morning Steam. That way you have information and are equipped to go ahead and about these other games. Here's some steam to the under in that one with Niagara and Canisius. It was 130, but we're seeing the steam come in on the under now in this game, and it is now at 127.5. So a 2.5-point move right now in real time here on the Morning Steam Show. These moves are sent in by Don Best. I subscribe to that service. We get you the fast moves here on the show. It's not all about my picks. I want you to be equipped with these early line moves. All right. Let's go to the chat here right now and give you my pick in this one between Cleveland and Philadelphia here on Wednesday. Let's go to the chat. And we'll start it off with Philadelphia on the money line here for Thomas. Cash Kane likes Philly as well. Jermaine says Maxey is going to light this one up here today. And, probably, we look at the injury report here. You've got VJ, he's probable. PG, he's probable. Embiid is probable. I guess we couldn't say JE. For the Cavaliers, Dean Wade remains out with that knee injury. Public Enemy likes 76ers here. Cavaliers for 9 Legacy. And remember, that is kind of Thomas. This is our Cleveland correspondent here with Thomas. So he's kind of down on him here a little bit. Greg likes Philly to edge this one. Here's Robert. He likes the Cavs to win it on the road. Greg says Philly does play good. Thomas liking the under here. I think that's where I'm headed. Fernando, Cavs money line. And also personal account is here today, and he says take the Cavs. I think the chat is mostly in favor of the Cavs here. And I'm taking the under in this one between the Cavs and the Sixers. All right. Next up, the Jazz are at the Bulls. Now, I know this one's right up Terrell's alley when it comes to past championship series with the Jazz here on the road, coming in off of a win. They've won 2 of their last 3, actually. The Jazz have done a nice job once again. They're off that win over Cleveland. Mikey talked about it on his show when they lost that game to Charlotte by 55 points. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad you are. This is professional basketball. And, not only were they missing Markkanen in that 55-point loss, he comes back the next game. And he's one of those players where, you say if he's in, they win. If he's not, they lose or don't cover anyway. They're not winning a bunch of games in Utah this season. But, hey, you know what? They're 14-25, won a couple in a row. They're playing a Bulls team here that are not playing that well, and not only that, they're the worst favorite in the league for 13-1 against the spread are the Chicago Bulls. That's not going to get it done, especially if you're favored by 3 points here. Okay, you're playing a pretty bad team. I get that. Josh Giddey's out of the lineup here for the Bulls today. Jazz have Kevin Love out. Georges Yang is out as well for Chicago here. Phillips is questionable also, and Kobe White is back in, I think, after his rest day. So we can get plays from you here if you want between the Jazz and the Bulls in this one. The Bulls favorite here, -3 in the total, 243.5. This one went down from 245.5. I was talking about a little bit on another show. I get it. When you talk about, a high total here, the Utah Jazz, they play ridiculous totals. They play no defense at all. But I will just note that, and the sharps are all over the under here. I get that. I couldn't tell if I just read you the Bulls trends here. I mean, you'd be side with the sharps. Here you have a total that's 243.5. It was 245. I get that. The Bulls are 6-14 to the under at home. They're 6-12 to the under as a favorite. Yeah, sure. Utah is a big, high-scoring team, or more likely to give up a lot of points. They score a lot too because they, just end up in those type of games. I mean, that's why they've had some success at covering the spread. I mean, they're 22-17 ATS despite a 14-25 record. But even though they're 21-14 to the over as an underdog, I think it should be noted that they're 8-10 to the under on the road, the Utah Jazz. So if you combine, like the road over-under of Utah and the home over-under of Chicago, you'd have 14 overs and 24 unders, and you have one of the highest totals. What was that other game the other day that was 250 with Cleveland, and it ended up 235? That was that game, right? Against Utah. Okay. Hopefully I'm here just to break it down. I can't give you the picks, and hey, you know what? I mean, even we hit 52, 53, 54, but these are the facts of the game going in here, at least anyway. Let's read some of the trends off with these two. It may even solidify that position a little bit. Cleveland's gone under in 6 of their last 9. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Cleveland. Utah's gone over in 13 of their last 20 games, but Chicago's gone under in 4 of their last 5 and 11 of their last 13 at home as part of that streak that I talked about. 5 of the last 6 meetings, though, between these two teams have gone over. But they only meet twice a year, too. Something to consider there. But like I said, Chicago is a woeful favorite. Maybe the spread's low enough tonight against this Utah team that you say, hey, you know what, maybe this is finally here a spread within range a little bit, but still 4-13-1 ATS, and you have a Utah team that is 19-16 against the spread as an underdog. I guess you'd want a few more points here, but probably going to take Utah. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. And let's see here. There's Thomas likes the under here. Cash Cane like in Utah on the money line. Fernando likes the under here as well. Personal account. Is that the one that Thomas said he likes the avatar with the money looking different ways? Is that Jerome Powell and that? Okay, keep it moving right now. Public Enemy on Utah, 9 Legacy on Utah. Greg Gibson here, he likes Utah to win it outright. As a dog here, Robert liking Utah on that money line as well. And our Tops is on the under here with us. Keontae George over, says 9 Legacy in his points and assists. And Greg says, let's see, he's still rocking that money line. All right, I'm going to take the Utah Jazz in this one, plus the points here against Chicago. Look, Chicago's been very streaky. I think we all know that. I don't think they're totally toast here right now. It's going to be hard for them to finish strong. I mean, they're still under 500 here. They really need to kick it in gear, but just too many losing streaks for this team. Hey, Spenny is here. Oh my God, Spenny, oh man, Spenny, where you been? I hope it's going great with you right now. Miss ya. He likes Smith with a double here, and he gives us Jones on the ramp up here, 10+ assists. Thank you to Spenny. Oh man, it's great to have Spenny with us in the chat. And let's see here. Okay, let's move on to the next one before we have to lose Spenny here. Let's go. Nets and Pelicans here in this one. Well, you know what, you guys, hey, if we get to, baseball season here, in a few months, we'll be kicking this one to the curb, man. We're not going to be handicapping games between Brooklyn and New Orleans come April. That's for sure. But, well, when we got a 7-game card and 4 games on the ice, we're going to get down right here with the Nets and their 4-game losing streak right now. Pelicans have lost 2 in a row. Good thing there's some steam to interrupt us because nobody wants to talk about this game. Xavier is taking the steam here right now. Hey, you might have caught me on another show last night talking up Xavier, and now the steam comes in. Butler was a 1-point favorite. Xavier is favored by 1 here now. And some of the books still trailing here, but Circa is the one that's triggered this. Circa moves to Xavier -1 right now. So that's a trigger book, man. You could sit there all day, I promise you, and watch the Circa line and find who's off on the Circa line. There are people who videos trying to explain the concepts. I don't even know if I know the concept. I just look at that Circa line and I regard that line very, very sharp. Almost like the pinnacle of the 2000s, I guess, is the way I look at it with the Circa. They have some of the biggest limits, even on their early betting here. And that's why it's so widely regarded. Yeah, there's a lot of critics of that book too, but that's probably because they might be a little bit jealous. All right, let me break it down with you guys here in this one with the Nets. Oh, no, let's not. Let's keep steaming it up here with Denver in their matchup today. Denver is taking some steam here in their game against Oral Roberts. Denver was a 7-point favorite against Oral, and here's Denver taking that steam right now. They're up to 9 here at BetOnline. Now, BetOnline is the trigger here. They're up to 9 right now. The steam also came in on the over in that game and opened as low as 155.5 at most spots. Steam did come in. It was before we were on the air here, I think, and it's right now about 156.5. Circa's at 157.5. If that says anything, the steam came in on the over in that one, but just now it was Denver. Okay. Hey, hope you're having a great time with me here so far. We're almost an hour in. Also seeing here in the Wyoming game against San Diego State, kind of following the injuries here in Wyoming, going to be without Harris and without Belich today. So they're missing some pieces here. Wyoming today against my San Diego State team, trying to remain undefeated in conference play. We're going to preview the other big game in the Mountain West today with Utah State and Nevada. Furman and Sanford is taking some steam here right now. They already steamed Sanford today, but now the steam's coming in on the under. This one kind of got dummied up a little bit because it was 148 overnight, and then it was built all the way back up here to 150.5 at the game between Furman and Sanford. And now we're seeing the steam come in again here on the under here right now. It was 150.5, and now we're down here to 147.5. So it's actually went beyond that original number there. It's still about a 3-point move right now there with Furman and Sanford. Are we ever going to get back to the Nets and the Pelicans here for this important matchup? For Brooklyn here, look, they are the favorite for just the second time this season, just twice here right now, and they're favored on the road against this Pelicans team. If you're the Pelicans, if you can't beat the Nets at home, who are you going to beat, right? I mean, look, I just compare it to, look, the Pelicans are playing back-to-back. They just played the Denver Nuggets yesterday, right, without Joker there in that game. Now, I understand that Murray was questionable. A lot of people thought he was going to play that game. He ended up playing the game. What did he have, like 35 points or something like that? But still, Denver really never moved on. Maybe they moved to 3, but it was mostly 2.5 or 3. The Denver Nuggets, a team that's playing terrific basketball, right, without Jokic, are still playing very, very well. They're covering spreads. I don't know what you're looking for. But So Jokic is out. Murray is in. They're still only a 2.5 point favorite. Okay, I get it. The Pelicans are on the back-to-back, so maybe the Nets come in here. But still, now the Nets are favored by 2.5, just like the Denver Nuggets were. The Brooklyn Nets, the team that everybody, that's favored for just the second time this year. Now New Orleans is playing terrible, but who else? I mean, you got to find someone to beat if you're the Pelicans. What are they going to do? Lose if you can't beat the Nets at home? What are you going to do? Lose every game for the rest of the season? I know it's the NBA here, but Brooklyn comes in 11-26. They're on a 4-game losing streak. The Pelicans are 9-33. They've lost 2 in a row, of course. Here, Pelicans with back-to-back losses to Orlando and then to Denver. Brooklyn's losses were to Orlando, Clippers, Memphis, and Dallas coming into this one. Current line here is 2.5, and the total here about 228 in this one. Look, you got Brooklyn here 15-22 to the under this season, but New Orleans is 15-9 to the over at home, 22-17 to the over as an underdog, which they are in this game. New Orleans has lost 11 of their last 12, but Brooklyn's lost 7 of their last 8. They're not on some winning streak. East Tennessee State is the latest steam move here right now. East Tennessee State has taken the steam in their matchup against Western Carolina. East Tennessee State was a 6.5-point favorite on the road against the Catamounts, and they're taking the steam here right now. East Tennessee State is up to 7.5. 1-point move there against Western Carolina. All right, so look, I'm not sure I could do it. I got to take the Pelicans here in this game. Maybe the Nets are better. Maybe the Pelicans are going to lose every single game for the rest of the season. Now, they are missing some key players. There's no doubt about it. Herb Jones is questionable, but Alvarado is out, and DeJounte Murray is out as well here for the Pelicans. Brooklyn, relatively clean rapport. Zaire Williams is out of this game. So let me hear from you in the chat, though. But I'm taking the Pelicans at home. I might be just totally square. Just take some crappy team at home against another crappy team, getting a few points here. The two teams did meet in December. Brooklyn rocked them at home 119-101. So that might be a factor in there. But all right, let me hear from you in the chat. These two teams here. And I'll cover one more steam move while you guys are typing in your big plays in this one. Illinois State is taking the steam here right now in their matchup with Indiana State. Illinois State was a 5-point favorite on the road, and here they are getting steamed right now, up to 7 right now at Circa, so a 2-point move. The total also already got steamed from 148 in that game, but it's actually come well back down here right now. It was as low as 143, got totally steamed up to as high as 148, I believe, and now is all the way back down here to as low as 145. So bit of this zigzag there a little bit. Okay, let me go to the chat in this game, and enough time I've left it up there, this garbage game here. Okay, here we go.
Steam play. Critical notice.
We've got a little bit of breaking news here, though. Right now, we in the last game that we talked about, and I mentioned Markkanen, one of those players. He is listed right now as questionable. I know I already went with Utah as my play, but Markkanen here questionable right now. We'll see how that affects the line. Let me get you a move here real quick with Auburn. Taking some steam. This one's in the preview here later. Auburn taking the steam right now against Missouri. Auburn was a 1-point underdog at one point, but we're seeing Auburn here now, I believe, has moved to a favorite in this game against Missouri. Auburn is up to 1.5 right now at Circa. Also here are getting Markkanen listed here with he's under the weather this morning and is questionable here right now. So we are seeing the Bulls here move to -4 at Circa right now on this news. It's not necessarily some steam at this point, but this is a development right now. Markkanen, I just mentioned, I feel like he's one of the players where it's Markkanen in, you're in, and Markkanen out, you might be out. Of the bet. I already took Utah here. I'm not going to change it. Obviously, it's going to be built into the line here a little bit. The Bulls will still be a very bad favorite. There's no changing that stat, but the Bulls are on the move here with that news right now that Markkanen is out. And the total also has just moved at Circa to 241.5. So this is a major development in that game. All right, let me get back somehow to these comments here. Trevor Davis is here today. Cash Kane is on the money line here with the Nets. And Spenny likes Porter Jr. for his PRA and a double-double today. And Thomas says, I'm here for the Brooklyn Nets today. Claxton, Spenny likes the fact that he's back in that starting lineup. You know, guys, we just mentioned that news that came in on the Wyoming Cowboys, and this is why you're joining me, man. It's not all about me. I'm just bringing you this info. But San Diego State just took the steam here right now in their matchup against Wyoming tonight. San Diego State was a 1.5-point favorite on the road. We get the news of those two key contributors to Wyoming, I'd say, that are out of this game. San Diego State has moved to a 2.5-point favorite right now here on the Morning Steam Show. And look at the crypto again today going up. Man, crypto's had a wild week here so far. I should say a wild 48 hours here. Crypto's going off here again today. Bitcoin just hit, what did it hit? Bitcoin back to 98 here right now. 97 right now. Yeah, 98. Man, we might get there in 2 seconds. All right. Hey, a lot going on here today, and I'm also watching some cricket action here. Watched some tennis there late last night. I got to pick better winners in tennis. No wonder I was so hesitant there to go deep. But I was watching a little cricket here. New Zealand taking on India right now in a one-day, and I love that top of that India batting order. Who doesn't, man? I mean, to me, I think Shubman Gill is a huge star. I mean, I know he's young, 24, whatever he is, but man, you think of some of the India greats. I mean, he's going to be Tendulkar. Come on, you guys feeling me out there? All right, give me the Pelicans. Let me keep going here down these. Here's it's going to be all Nets. I mean, nobody wants it here with me. Here's Public Enemy on the Nets. Here's Fernando on the Nets. Nobody trusts this Pelicans team right now. Here's Kane on the over. Nets team total under, though, for Fernando there. Also, Greg here liking Brooklyn just to win here, I guess. Maybe he's on the under there. And let's see here. Pelicans might – good point. I mean, there's no doubt, Greg, that I think that the move there, thank you. Yep, there it is, Spinny. And I think that, just the back-to-back is probably the reason why. But, in a back-to-back, I mean, if they're playing, the Celtics or something, it might be different. I don't know. Here's Jacksonville State taking a move here right now as we speak. If you're interested, Jacksonville State was a pick'em in their game against
Critical notice.
Sam Houston. And let's see. I don't know if this was a big piece of information here, but let's see here. There we go. Yeah, Sam Houston. Let me get it to you here. Jacksonville State is taking the steam here in that game against Sam, and right now we're seeing Jacksonville State up to a 1.5-point favorite here. Pretty much Jacksonville State just took the steam. Are we ever going to get the Nets game over with? Parma Jake was on the under there. And let's see here. Hello to AOD joining us. And Spenny says, could we see guys sitting tonight? We'll get to that game hopefully next, Spenny. All right, Nug is here today as well. Personal account, Moneyline Cavs. Don't forget Jazz. If I think he was saying if Markkanen is out. Nets on the spread. MPJ over in his 3-pointers. Poole over in his 3-pointers. There's a Poole sighting in the chat. And let's see here. Seth Dominis is here today as well. Nice to have Seth in the chat. Okay, Jimmy Nose also here, stepping in, stepping out. All right, you guys, I think we got through this game. Nobody really was too much on it. Nets are a dangerous. Hey, Jordy's here. Nets are a dangerous team against the Pelicans, right? Maybe that is the case. Terrell. We're all caught up, Terrell. We're all caught up. All right, here we go. Let's go to that Denver game. Spenny's ready. Nuggets taking on the Mavericks here in this one. Mavericks here are now a favorite, if I'm not mistaken, right? We've already kind of covered it here. 1.5 at circa. Total here 226. Saw the Mavs take a little steam here this morning in that game against the Nugs. Nug is here to talk Nugs. Mavericks here, 1.5, 2, maybe 225.5 on that total. Look, Denver's just done fine, I think, here. But yeah, Spenny mentioned maybe we're going to rest some guys here. It might be a little bit, but they've done a great job, no doubt about it, without Jokic here. Braun, questionable here with that ankle turn. Still no sign of Valanciunas here with that calf injury. For the Mavs here, we did get that bad news last night. Look, we could make fun of Anthony Davis. You could also say that his fragility, if you will. But you know what? When a guy has to go for surgery, it's not like we're questioning him whether or not he's got a bruised nose or something. Tough break. I think I would have broke my wrist on that play. I think he's only got torn ligaments, but going to have surgery. And
Steam play.
Davis is going to miss time. To me, it looks like the Mavericks are the team now. If the Nuggets do sit, this would be the spot here to sit them, right? You've got Davis out, Brandon Williams questionable, PJ Washington questionable, Max Christie doubtful here. So plenty of injuries, although Gafford is probable here coming off that ankle sprain for the Mavericks here in this one. Mavericks are a crummy favorite. They're favored now. They're I think I said who was the crummy favorite? The Bulls. Well, the Mavs are 3-10 as a favorite here, and the Denver Nuggets are 8-3 as an underdog this season. This is where you want the Nuggets. You don't get them that much as an underdog, it feels like, huh? They are 24-16 against the spread. The Mavs just 18-22. However, 18-22 against the spread. However, the Mavs are 12-9 against the spread at home. Still Denver 14-9 ATS on the road. Dallas comes in here having lost 8 of their last 12. They're just 2-7 ATS in their last 9 overall. Denver, meanwhile, is 1-covered in 4 straight games here, including a road win at Boston, 114-110. They got blasted by Atlanta. I remember in that home game when they did sit the players in that one too, a few of them, and then beat Milwaukee at home, covered as a dog there. It felt like the reaction to Jokic's injury was maybe a little bit too severe against the spread. Maybe it still is. For Dallas here, meanwhile, they come in off of the win over the Brooklyn Nets. They can't beat the Brooklyn Nets at home. Who can? They were favored by 3.5. They covered. But they failed against Utah and Chicago on the road, even failed to cover against Sacramento on the road in a 2-point win. So, and they're not exactly world beaters, like I said, ATS for the Dallas Mavericks right now. Dallas has gone under in 6 straight games. They're mentioned Dallas 10 against the spread as a favorite. They're also 2-11 to the under as a favorite. So, that's kind of a correlation in my book, even if it isn't exactly all the games there. But as a favorite, they just don't seem. Maybe they play better defense as a favorite, I guess. For the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Dallas has gone under, although 4 of the last 6 meetings overall between the two have gone under. The teams have played already twice this season. Dallas won them both and covered them both, including 131-130 here as a 6.5-point dog 2 days before Christmas. I got to take here in this one the under between Denver and Dallas. Give me the under here with these two. I'll go to the chat here right now. And what is it? Is it really 226 here? Yeah, it opened 224, 224 and a half. I like the under. Let's go to the chat. You guys are doing a great job today. And like I said, I'm trying to work on something here with the AI where I gather all the transcript, throw it through the AI, and it comes out with a beautiful thing with all your guys' plays. And if I can find a place to publish these, I'd love to do that. So I'm trying to figure out how we can do that, but I've been experimenting with it over the last couple of days, and it really sounds like a great concept, a way to take all of your plays and, not that, hey, we try to flash them on the screen. I love putting your guys' winners on the screen, but if we could have a record of that and where you guys can go back and refer to it and see all the plays. The key is I have to read them out because the transcript only collects what I say. Okay, here we go. But it's really cool to see it too, the way the AI had everybody's name all laid out as long as I say the name. Okay, sometimes it might say like, let me see here. Thomas is on Dallas, so it's a Thomas on Dallas. All right, Mavs are one of life's mysteries, says Seth. All right, Jordy says he's got the Mavs to win and Cooper Flag to get at least 20 here in this one. Spencer says, when Spenny says the fact that you have Dallas favored shows that the Denver guys are sitting. Is that the case, Spenny? I mean, they've obviously been sliding the Nuggets here on these games, though, because they're just have a terrific record here, spread-wise. Well, I guess they're winning, too. That offense just keeps going, it feels like, right now. Granted, they're without Jokic, they're rebounding, usually pretty bad anyways, struggling. Greg here on Dallas. Dallas looks like a good money line game, he says. All right, and Seth, he's going to be talking commodities more than crypto. Public enemies on the Nuggets here, and no, just questionable 9 legacy, but marketing. Now here's a guy as good as he is. I want to there. All right, Spencer says he's got some backup plans there with Denver. Robert's on the Mavs here. Seth is on the over. R. Tom's on the over here, but Parma Jake on the under. Fernando feeling overtime in this one. And yeah, that's right, Thomas. We're talking about the AI model here. And maybe I can get it done today and share it with everybody. Maybe on social media, I could do it. I'd love for other people to see your guys' plays here. We only get our viewers in here. We got 5 dozen of you here right now. 9 legacy on the Mavs. And let's see here. Spenny says if Murray and Gordon are in, this would be 2 or 3 here right now. So he expects Murray to take a seat in this one. Okay. And that might be it. All right, good job, you guys. We can move on to the next one here now with the Knicks taking on the Kings on the road here with the lowly Kings. I don't know who's the worst team, the Kings or the Pelicans. The Kings have won 2 in a row, man. Break them up right now. Mikey was talking about it on his show last night. I was yelling at the screen. I'm all, Kings. My Kings are worse than the Pelicans. I don't know if they are, though. I don't know if they are now. Kings have won 2 in a row here right now over Houston and LA. I mean, come on. Sacramento's obviously going to be working their way up the charts here a little bit. Knicks, meanwhile, come in off of a road win over Portland, 123-114 after they got beat by Phoenix. We know the Knicks are terrible against the spread on the road, but they're good as a favorite. But again, because they're probably the best home favorite in the league. Remember, they have the New York. They have opposite of the New York Rangers syndrome, I think. Here, 6-13 ATS on the road. Sacramento just is terrible, period. They can't win. They can rarely cover, but yeah, give them credit. They've done it the last 2 nights, last 2 games here in back to back. They beat Houston and then they beat the Lakers on a back-to-back. Who says it's a problem when you're back-to-back? If you're the Kings, no problem. But still, the Kings are 14-23 against the spread as an underdog, 8-12 against the spread at home. So you're going to have to consider that here against the Knicks team that has won and that has covered 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. However, the Knicks just 3-11 against the spread their last 14. They've lost 5 of their last 7. The Kings were on a 7-game losing streak before they won those last 2 games. They've gone just 3-6 against the spread their last 9. 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Also, Sacramento's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home. We know the Knicks are a big time over here, over in 7 of their last 10. They're over in 20 of 35 as a favorite and 23-17 to the over overall. These two teams have not met yet here this season, but they I mentioned under in 13 of the last 20 games between the two. Well, 3 straight games between the two teams have gone over. Let's go to the chat in this one. The total here is 230 with the Knicks. The Knicks taking on the Kings. Let's go to the chat. I also missed one Steam move in there. My apologies. Game 699, 700. Southern Miss and Troy took some steam to the under. It was 148. But we are seeing that steam come in here not right now. It's already settled here a little bit, but it did go down to 146 at circa, so 2-point move to the under there. Sorry about that with Southern Miss and Troy down there today. Okay, let me I think we've covered some numbers there. Let's go to the chat. Like I said, the Knicks have dominated this series in the past and covered the spread 8 of the last 9 meetings here. Laying a big number, I get that. Kings terrible. I mean, but they have won 2 in a row. I don't know. Let's see what you got here. And Spenny says, and not only that, right, Spenny, I mean, here his Hart rebounds and assists, possible double-double, played 30 in his return. And there's no doubt that the Knicks' recent spell of losses, it seemed to coincide with Hart, a glue player for this team with his absence. I think that's the Knicks were not playing very well without Hart. Hart comes back. They beat Portland. We'll see, right? I mean, Hart is the glue player, I think, on this team. Seth on New York. Kings are playing 3-4, says Spenny. But hey, come on. They just beat the Lakers on the back-to-back. Knicks on the spread. Brunson to score 30. Here's I don't want the Knicks. I don't want the Kings. Don't at me. Easy money Knicks here, Greg. Well, I mean, that says easy money, but the prediction is by 12. Maybe a money line play is what he's suggesting here. Public Enemy says you still got to take the Kings here. That's a lot of points. Jake Parma, Kings over. This is for personal account. He has a new meaning of the term no Kings. Let's just not protest, I guess. Let's see here. Robert on the under. Our Tomps on the under here today. And Terrell says, look, I mean, last time the Knicks were here, it was 133-104. The Knicks were only 1-point favorites on that day. But again, like I said, Terrell, right? 8-1 last 9 Knicks against the spread. And I think the last time that Sacramento covered actually was, I think 3 years ago. We know they only play twice a year, but Thomas is on the under here. Robert liking the Knicks still. Kings are going to get smacked down, says Spetty. All right, you guys. Hey, I got to make my call in this one between the Knicks and the Kings in this one tonight. And I got to go under. I mean, come on. How do you not go under in this game tonight? This should be a premium. It's a freemium. I love the under. I love the under. Yeah, Mike, you out there? How about all right. We're gonna when we get together with Mike again, you guys, maybe you saw the president flip off the auto worker there yesterday. I think the auto worker was a little bit out of line, right? I mean, you got the president in there. It was only suspended. I mean, if Trump, fired. You're fired. He just said you're fired. All right. Oh, I'm having some fun today. Here we go. Kings team total under for Fernando. You're fired. funny how Trump doesn't really fire anybody anymore out of his first term, right? I mean, maybe we're about to get him. He can't fire Powell. He can't fire Bondi. What's he going to do? He's got to fire somebody, fire the auto worker. All right, here we go with Wizards taking on the Clippers tonight. Hey, the Wizards have lost 3 in a row. They're taking on the Clippers here. Clippers winners of 3 in a row. We know the Clippers have been doing pretty well. I mean, come on. Seriously, you harken back, whatever the change was. Maybe it was ridding Paul way back when. I mean, it's been a few weeks now, but remember the Clippers went on that mad string of 20-point wins, pretty much were crushing everybody until they went up against the Knicks on the road. And now here they are winning 3 in a row once again against Brooklyn, Detroit, and Charlotte. Nothing special. Well, the Detroit win was good on the road there, but Clippers getting back to that defense a little bit, I think, here, especially when Kawhi's in that lineup right now. Big number here, of course, at 12.5, but and the total here actually is about 226. It looks like it's gone up here. There we go. Let's update that line. All right. So Clippers here continue to roll right now. Spread-wise, they're actually one of the hottest teams against the spread of late. They've won and covered 10 of their last 12 coming in. Washington's lost 4 of their last 5 and gone just 1-4 against the spread. The Wizards are 0-8 against the Clippers against the spread. In their last 8 meetings, Clippers have pretty much pummeled them every time. Right now, it has not been pretty for Washington. It's just a bad matchup for them probably here. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Washington's gone under in 7 of their last 9. I don't really know why the move has been to the over here. I mean, I love rolling Clippers unders here, and they really haven't even taken effect. It feels like they're only 9-10 to the under at home so far, but Washington here has been, like I said, going under in 11 of 19 games on the road. I just think the fact that the total's gone up kind of provides me with a little bit of room to take the under in this one, although the Clippers have gone over here in a few games of late. They went over in that win over Charlotte. They went over in the win against Brooklyn, but still held Charlotte to 109, Brooklyn to 105. Yeah, those teams are crummy for sure. And maybe that's where it is. Maybe when the Clippers are able to score upwards of 120 points or so, maybe that's when it does go over. So maybe a little bit here cautious, but probably going to be on the under. Let me hear from you in the chat, though, in this one with Clips. Take it on. The Wizards here. Teams have not met yet this season. Last met on January 23rd of last year here at LA. Clippers won 110-93. It's a 14.5 point favorite. Let's go to the chat here right now. That's it for the pro basketball. All right. And what's spinning? Kawhi questionable. The player in Washington, so he's sitting, right? This is the time you sit your big star when you have a line of 12 here. And here's the thing I've noticed, though, and I'll say this, Spinny, with this with Kawhi, when it's his knee that's bothering him, when he has a knee soreness, and we know, right? I mean, sometimes it's such a problem that's when he has to sit multiple games. But this is an ankle turn. Certainly if it is a certain, and again, you try to rest these guys a little bit. But I will say this, that when it is another injury, a different type of injury, Kawhi sometimes plays in those games. It's tough to, no one would believe me, or unless you're kind of like me and understand it, but he's a kind of a tough player. It's just that it's hard to play when your knee is not knees are not cooperating, when you have no cartilage in your knee. I know I harp on that, but it is an ankle injury here. Also, Zubats, he might be nearing his return tonight, and he's questionable right now, but this is an improved status here for Zubats, and we've been waiting for him to come back right now. So he's questionable here. He could make this lineup tonight. Derek Jones still out with that knee injury right now. For the Wizards, looks like Trae Young is going to be extended here a little bit on that on his debut. We're not going to get Trae Young just yet. It's going to be a while still here. Let's go to the chat, and then that pro basketball's over. All right. Yeah, Zubats here. Like I said, I think his status is improving here right now. And Thomas is on the Clippers here. And Personal Account says, what's going on with that Jazz game, right? Well, we just said it there. Markkanen questionable with an illness here. Clippers and the under for Parma Jake. Clippers to smack them down, says Greg. Personal Accounts on the Clippers. Clippers money line for Jordy. Tyrese Maxey over 20 in that Philly game back there. It's a parlay, I think, for Jordy. And Robert on the Clippers, lay it. R. Tops on the under. Robert on the under. Public Enemy on the under. Ramon on the under. I'll take the under tonight in the Clippers and the Wizards. Who else we got? Wizards on the spread for 9. Legacy. And Terrell says, Trey loves playing the Clippers. And how about Morant? He says, Miami is the destination that I'd like to go to. Can you just pick where you want to go if you're John Morant? Miami is a pretty good town for a guy like Morant. What could go wrong? Right? Morant, I think Morant, let's send him to Utah. I think that's what we need. Morant. All right. Here, let's see. Let's see. Thomas is talking about always sick. I think he might be talking about Markkanen, right? Markkanen, he's had some injuries, but isn't it? We've seen Markkanen have that illness as his reason for more. Is he one of those sick guys? I don't want to make fun of anybody who has any, illnesses that keep him out. Okay, here we go. Kawhi could sit because he got a road trip. All right, that's it. That's it for the NBA, you guys. Glad I brought a smile to your face here, and really appreciate it. And we'll go to some college basketball next. All right. I've got a lot of college games lined up. I hope that's okay. It's a great night for some college basketball. Let's start it off. And we've got, hopefully more steam. It's kind of calmed down here. But how much college basketball? That much college basketball today. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to the Big Ten to start us off here. Actually, I have a that doesn't even have. I think I have. Don't forget, I have the. I forgot the extra games too. Don't have any of those in the preview, but like I said, if we had one, it'd be High Point and Winthrop. I'm pretty sure, right? Okay, let's get rolling here in some college ball. A lot of great games. Couldn't pick them all, and some of them, got some good teams, but some of those good teams are favored by 20. That kind of, keeps funny that sometimes we have to skip the good teams because they got a big spread. But I choose try to squeeze some of them in there, even if they're minus 14 or something. We've got to talk about the good teams once in a while. And let's talk this good team here with the Purdue Boilermakers. Top 5 here right now and still doing great. Just one loss so far for Purdue. They're fine here, ranked 5th in the country. They're on a winning streak here, of course, right now as well. And bringing on Iowa here. Iowa's lost a couple of games in a row here, probably showing their vulnerabilities. Just lost to Illinois at home, 75-69. They also lost to Minnesota on the road, 70-67, and Minnesota let me down there a little bit last night. Kind of was on them a little bit, but what a wild finish that was in that Wisconsin-Minnesota game. I think you guys already mentioned that in the early on the chat with those wild 3-pointers there in the last few seconds. Iowa comes in here right now 12-4 overall. They've covered 10 of their last 14, but they are 0-3 straight up on the road so far. They've been underdogs in all 3 of those games and just 1-2 against the spread in those 3 games. For Purdue, meanwhile, they're 9-1 straight up at home, but 9-7 ATS overall, just 5-7 ATS at home. 7-6 ATS is a favorite. Iowa's gone 1-5 in the last 6 meetings, however, against the Boilers. Here, Boilers have actually won the last 4 meetings between the two teams, including, let's see, last year they met at Iowa. Oilers won at 90-81 as a 6.5-point favorite. That was the only meeting between the two teams last season. In fact, like I said, they won, pretty much handled Iowa for the most part. Purdue's covered 8 of their last 11 coming in here. They're on a 7-game winning streak right now, including 5 straight at home. Iowa's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. Purdue's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games coming into this one. Let me hear from you in the chat. A great Big Ten game here tonight at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on BTN with Iowa. Take it on Purdue. Go to the chat, see if you guys are with me here in this one, and see what you want to do. I know what I'm doing, and then we'll see what you're doing first. But I'm on the side. That helps. Here we go. I think we got, let's see, here's LALB. Looks like we made it. Who is on this show where somebody said I should take over Barry Manilow's residency as he battles his cancer battle? I hope Barry Manilow can make it back to the Vegas here. This is where he belongs. Some people look at it as a demotion when you come to Vegas, but Barry embraced it. Okay, let's see here. Over, I think, for personal account in this one. Got to think over personal account, don't you? LALB says, got to do that. UCLA, man, how about that? How about that last UCLA at Penn State? I don't have that in the preview. My goodness. And Stand on Biz has given Morant the DK Metcalf treatment. Over here for Thomas. Public Enemies on the over. And Nine Legacy says on the spread. Then give me a single game parlay. Iowa spread, Purdue money line. So he's trying to thread the needle in there a little bit. And full game. He likes an under, though. The steam did come in on the over in this game. It should be made clear. What is it right now? I have 142.5 on screen, but it's 144.5. Yeah. I was on a show last night talking up the over a little bit at 142, I think it was, but there is some steam on this one. This needs to be updated actually on the screen. 144, 144.5 for sure. I'll call it 144. DK's still got 143.5. So let's update that a little bit. And hey, also, we got to give our man a little bit of breathing room there on that total. For Nine Legacy, gets an extra 1.5. R. Thompson's on Iowa here. Greg says Purdue, but he likes Iowa there, I think, to cover. LALB likes the points and the over. And let's see here, Parma Jake, Purdue first half. And Robert's on Purdue. I'm on Purdue in this one. I think Purdue rocks here against Iowa tonight. Robert's with me. I'm with Robert. And let's see here. Cash Kane on the under. How old is Barry Manilow? Is he 83? I don't know. Is he 83? You guys look it up. I have no hands. You can chat GPT and let me know. Thomas will wait for me to find out. I think over there for personal account, I'm going with Purdue in this one. Next up. Let's go to the SEC tonight. Auburn taking on Purdue. We saw that steam come in here on Auburn here as we were on the air. And are they a favorite here now? Auburn is a 1-point favorite, and the total is 153. I was on a show last night talking about an under here in this game. I don't think it got steamed, but maybe they were betting my plays. Maybe they were betting Ramon. Let me see here real quick. Keep you guys waiting. Thank you for joining me here and putting up with me. We got over 50 of you here right now. It's gone down a little bit now that we're on college basketball, but that's all right. All right, let me get to some of the trends here anyway with this one. I think we got the moves down. Auburn comes in here 10-6, Missouri 12-4. Missouri coming in off of a loss, snapped a 2-game winning streak when they lost to Ole Miss on the road as a 1.5-point dog. They lost by 7. For Auburn here, they're off of a win at home, 95-73. They rocked Arkansas. Auburn is in here right now, as a favorite now. 6-3 ATS as a favorite. Mizzou's actually had a little bit of difficulty here with some of these numbers here of late. Auburn here, like I said, 10-6 against the spread overall. So far, they're also 10-6 straight up, as I mentioned. Auburn is 8-4 against the spread in their last 12 meetings with the Missouri Tigers. I like the Tigers in this one. Tigers versus Tigers. Missouri 3-7 against the spread. What's the record for the most games on a card where the two teams have the same nickname? Missouri's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Auburn's gone over in 11 of 16. They're also 3-1 to the over on the road, but Missouri's been the under. That's for sure. They're 1-4 to the under as a dog now here in this one. Let's hear from you in the chat, maybe with this one. Auburn taking on Missouri here. Auburn won last year at home 84-68. It was the only meeting between the two teams last year. They did not cover. They were favored by 18 points at home last year against Missouri. In this one, they're favored by 1.5 on the road, basically a 16-point swing in 1 year. Although, to be fair, they were at home in that one. Nonetheless, let's go to the chat. All right.
Critical notice.
Here is Thomas. Maybe he's even older than that. Stan Don Biz is on the under in this one. Also, Cash Kane, Auburn money line here. Thomas likes Mizzou. Robert's on the over in this one. Mizzou for LALV. Robert on Auburn money line here. Standon says this 155 is too low, and if I'm not mistaken, I have the wrong lineup in this one too, right? It's down to 153. So how about oops? You thought 155 was too low, Stan. How about 153? Let's give you a little more there to work with, huh? LALB going over 9 Legacy Missouri money line. And Auburn. Okay, I missed by 1. Now, to be fair, I didn't remember, but I mean, I remembered reading about his illness, and maybe it triggered in my brain. You know how the brain works. Okay, I gotta make my call. You guys did me a solid. Got your plays in there with Auburn and Missouri here in this one. I'm taking the Missouri Tigers. I'm taking Missouri at home tonight. Yeah, that steam came in on Auburn a little bit. I'm going to try Missouri here over Auburn tonight. Okay, let's go to more Tigers. But the Wildcats here, that doesn't count. Kentucky coming in here off of a win last time out. Kentucky beat Mississippi State 92-68. They covered 10.5 easy at home. They lost to Missouri at home, remember, 73-68. Kentucky here 0-2 against the spread, straight up and against the spread on the road. Just their third true road game of the season for LSU. They come in here on a 3-game losing streak with losses to Texas A&M, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. They did cover 2 of those games. Covered against the Aggies, covered against the Commodores. LSU, a modest 9-4 against the spread so far. They are 8-1 straight up at home here. And look, I mean, the line here is Kentucky favored on the road, a Kentucky team that no one's really impressed by so far. We've been wondering what the problem is with Kentucky and when will they get it in gear. I think we saw some hope there when they just blasted Mississippi State, but right now we're wondering. It's been for a while, right? Because they had losses earlier in the year. Remember, did the Kentucky Wildcats, and I think that's been part of the issue here. Wondering, are we just seeing a down year for Kentucky, or could look, Coach Pope? It was a nice uh, uh, honeymoon there last year, but against some of these teams. Now, granted, he's lost to Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, but didn't win any of those. I mean, he doesn't have any. The best win so far has been a win over Indiana. And that was at home, and they beat St. John's in a neutral game, but that was still kind of a road game, though, I thought. So let's go with you guys here with Kentucky and LSU in this one tonight in Baton Rouge. I want to hear from you in the chat. Let's get rolling. Get your plays up and ready in this matchup. LSU's 0-3 to the under as an underdog, and Kentucky's 1-4 to the under here as a favorite right now. So not in these roles. I mean, you'd have to think maybe the under is the way to go with these two. But let's see. I'm going to go to the chat right now and get your plays. Here we go. Kentucky and LSU. Kentucky just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. Kentucky's also gone under in 8 of their last 12 right now, and LSU's gone under in 6 of their last 9. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing in Baton Rouge. So, I'm probably going to go with the under here right now in this one. But let's see what you guys got. Stand on Biz. He's talking personnel tonight. Says Kentucky, a little bit of an issue here right now with Jalen Lowe here. Look, he's really one of their top guards for sure. I mean, definitely gets a lot of run. He's not overwhelming dominant player, but when he's in there, he is, a guy who really you need in there, especially when, always out of the game. So key information there from Stan Don Biz, giving us the business down there. If you know, you know. Also, Quaintance is also out of this game, but I think we knew that he was going to be out, so a little bit of a factor here for Kentucky in this one. Here, although LSU, Deaton Thomas, he is doubtful for this game as well. And let's see what else we got here. Greg is on. He likes Kentucky here in this one. And he says, the LALB on the Wildcats, and they will rock you. Robert likes the over here. Greg not liking what he's seen from LSU so far. 12-4 record, 8-1 at home, but they really haven't beat anybody they were supposed to beat, right? R. Tomps likes the over here. Also over for LALV. Over for Public Enemy. Oh boy, I'm on the under, you guys. I'm on the under here with Kentucky and LSU. Nothing I can do. I'm already on the under, but I'm writing down. You guys like the over. Public Enemy, you can see that over as well. And Kentucky 4-9 Legacy. All right. Thanks, you guys. Doing a great job here. Well, let's keep it moving right now with got to sneak a peek here at this one. Go a little bit out of the going out of the majors here with UAB taking on Tulane. Just a pretty good game, an important game, it feels like right now here. We're staying in Louisiana, at least, at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, with the Green Wave, an underdog here at home to the Blazers right now. You got UAB favored by 1.5, it looks like here. It looks like it's moved at least a half a point, if not a full point. I'll call it 2, but total here also has gone up 153.5 as reported here. We talked about that already, that the send out line, the early openers were as low as 147 here. Now we're up to 153 on that widely reported steam here. Tulane's one of the hottest teams in the country. We know that right now, on a pretty good roll. here at this point. Oh, and by the way, I probably should at least take a sneak peek here at this one with the UAB here on the road against Tulane. Like I said, I'm including this one in the previews because you look at the conference standings right now in the American. Temple 3-0, Tulane 3-0. UAB is actually just 2-2 so far this season. Tulane, you got Rowan Brumbaugh kind of carrying this team right now, and this winning streak just very impressive here at this point for Tulane. 5 straight here right now, including 3 straight conference wins. Their losses this year, not great. I mean, they lost to New Orleans. They lost to Utah State, a pretty good team for sure. They lost to Akron. Akron, kind of a sleeper in there, and they lost to UCSD, which kind of been tumbling a little bit, but obviously they had that great NCAA run last year. So UAB has coming in off of a win here at ECU, 87-85, but they were 7.5-point favorites in that one. For Tulane, meanwhile, not only this 5-game winning streak, but they've gone 4-1 ATS in those games. Tulane 8-2 straight up at home here. UAB 3-2 straight up on the road. UAB 5-6 against the spread as a favorite. Let me hear from you in the chat with this one, with UAB and Tulane here tonight. And Tulane, what can you say? Pretty hot here right now, doing a great job with this win string. All right, let me cover it a little bit here with you guys in the chat. UAB has covered 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams and won 13 of the last 15 meetings overall. So UAB definitely has had their number, but Tulane here has gone under in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. UAB's gone on over in 5 of their last 7 on the road. UAB's, like I said, coming in here 11-6 right now, so feels like an important game here, especially for undefeated Tulane. Here we go with Thomas is on Tulane. Cash Kane, he's on the under. And 9 Legacy says Tulane money line, Tulane team total over. LALV, Tulane on the money line. Public Enemy, Tulane money line. Robert says Tulane plus those points. Greg here, he's got it kind of right on the spread exactly. It looks like our Tomps is on the under here in this one. Great job in the chat. I got to say everyone right now, so the AI will pick it up. I hope I can get this out to you, or I'll try to explain more later on. But I'm going with the over here in this one. Man, that steam came in big time. I just don't think I can avoid it. I'm going to have to go over. Usually in a game like this, it does scare me, but it's my free play on the show. Give me the over with you. I'm chasing the steam here, no doubt. LALV is going under. Our Thompson is going under as well, but I'm going to believe in the steam here in this one. Two teams did meet last March in a conference tournament game. Tulane won the tournament game. I believe it was the tournament game 85-68. Oh, no, that was the regular season game right here at Devlin. Tulane won it 85-68 as a 2.5-point dog in that one, ironically enough. That one did go over, and Tulane obviously got the money. The meeting at UAB was 81-69 Blazers. They covered 8 points at home. All right, got another, just have to squeeze in some other conference play in here. Try to get some of these better games with some teams that are definitely in contention right now. But big game here. Let's take a look with Missouri State here on the road. They are taking on Western Kentucky here in this one. Let's take a look at this matchup here with Western Kentucky favored by 7. Says 148 there, but we did see that steam come in. So right now it is it's still 148. It would open as low as 144.5. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game between Missouri State and Western Kentucky. Missouri State comes in here with a record of 10-6. Western Kentucky comes in here also 10-6. So definitely got to sneak a peek at this one in Conference USA right now. They got Western Kentucky 3-2. They've already fallen 2 games back here right now. Missouri State, meanwhile, is 4-1, 1 game ahead of Western Kentucky. Liberty's 5-0. Middle is 4-1. Coming into this one, you got Keith Palak and Missouri State here up against Tegan Moore, the great sophomore of Western Kentucky. And let's see what you got here. This one also at 4:30 Eastern, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. With this one, both teams coming in off of a win here. Western beat UTEP 68-56 as a 3.5-point favorite. Missouri State, meanwhile, won at home over FIU 79-71 as a 3-point favorite. But Missouri State just 1-4 against the spread on the road, 0-4 against the spread as an underdog. Western Kentucky here 7-1 straight up at home so far this season. They're 5-3 to the over as a favorite here. Maybe we can go to the chat, see what you have here in this one with Missouri State and Western Kentucky. Missouri State talked about their 1-4 road record. That was their first win, actually, and I believe dating back to last season. They've won just one of their last 15 games, actually, on the road. Western Kentucky here has gone under in 4 of the last 5. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get this right. Missouri State's gone under in 8 of their last 12 games overall. They're just 5-8 to the under, but man, they've been going under here this season. Missouri State 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games right now, with covers here not only against FIU, but also they've won and covered against New Mexico State at home and won and covered against UTEP at home, but not on the road. These two teams, we got a new entry here basically in the conference, so really haven't met here since before the pandemic, so I'm not going to sweat that too much. But let's see what you have here in this one. Good game, Conference USA, Missouri State and Western Kentucky. Here is Thomas Lewis on Western, Roberts on Missouri State, and R. Thompson going to take Missouri State Public Enemy. Missouri State LALV says Western Kentucky, or is he channeling possibly Abel in there with the West Up Kentucky? Or is that Abel? I don't know. Is that Abel? Maybe it is Abel. I forget. All right. I think Thomas is saying he wants me to pull the trigger on this under. Robert's going over here. And Greg says Western, but I think he likes Missouri State there plus the points. And LALV says go over in this one with Missouri State and Western Kentucky. All right, I got to make my call here. You guys have gotten your play in. I am on the over here in this one. Another one where I probably couldn't give it out. It's already gone up like 4 points from that send out, but I got to go over in this one with Missouri State and Western Kentucky. It's probably gone a little bit too high at 148, but it's got a better chance of going over than it does, I think, staying under. Next up, let's go to the ACC here right now with Virginia Tech taking on SMU at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific, with SMU favored here at home by 7.5, total 157.5. Both teams coming in strong records, but a little bit of hiccup here in conference play. Virginia Tech's 13-4. They've lost 2 of their last 3. Memphis is 12-4. They've lost 2 in a row. SMU with ACC losses on the road to Clemson and Duke, but they got the money at Duke. Hey, we got a little bit of steam here trailing in, and it is on Auburn and Missouri, steam to the under here. I talked about maybe I was on another show last night. I may have said go under. Well, here we go. The steam's coming in on the under with Auburn and Missouri State. It was 155, or we already said it went down to 153, and now look at it here at still 150. All right, I'm still showing at 153, so maybe it's yet to move. Oh, it got dummied back up. Okay, so yeah, it's back down here to 153. Hey, maybe it's giving us a little bit of breathing room, although it's getting hit again. But cool. Of Auburn and Missouri steamed to the over there just now. It got bumped back up from 153 to 154.5, and they hit it again. Did the Sharps. Remember, I mean, the limits are lower here, but this is really how you need to make your money as a Sharps here a little bit. All right, here we go in this one. We'll get to the chat as well with this game between Virginia Tech and SMU here in Dallas here tonight at Moody. Let's see what you got in this one, and I'll kind of cover these a little bit here. Virginia Tech 4-2 against the spread as an underdog this season. I've talked about their last game. It was a win over Cal at home, but they did not cover. They also lost to Stanford at home. They did lose at Wake, but they got the money. They also won and covered over UVA. That was an impressive win at home, 95-85, especially the way UVA is looked, that was an upsetting game, but UVA is starting to really look pretty interesting here right now. So got to give Virginia Tech a little bit of credit in that one. The two teams did meet for the first time last year. It was 81-75. SMU got the win at Blacksburg as a 6-point dog in there. Or I'm sorry, it was a push. VTech was actually getting the 6 points at home from SMU. SMU won by 6 on the road in a push last year. So, okay, we can hear from you in the chat in this one between Virginia Tech and SMU at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time here on Wednesday night. And here we go to the chat with SMU money line here for Cash Kane. Thomas is on SMU. Robert is on the under here in this one. Greg says, I think Greg's got it here. SMU. He likes SMU to cover, maybe in a slight under there. Virginia Tech 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. They've won 7 of their last 9. Virginia Tech 6-1 ATS in their last 7 on the road. That does date back to last season. SMU's gone over in 6 of their last 7. They've won 10 games, all 10 games at home this season. And SMU covering those numbers here so far in conference play, no doubt about it. Let's see any more here. Greg says Virginia Tech is overrated. LALV likes Virginia Tech and the points. LALV also liking the over in this one. 9 Legacy says Virginia Tech on the spread. And Western Kentucky. That might be a parlay right there. Thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate it. Miss you. And, man, it's great to have you for an extended time in here. I know you're busy making sure you enjoy your time. But, man, we should make a show whenever you when you can watch. That's what I should be doing. You've been so great to me. And Public Enemy here is on SMU on the money line. All right, I guess that's going to do it for you guys in the chat in that one. I better come up with my play in this one between Virginia Tech and SMU here tonight in Dallas. All right, and for me in this one, I'm going to go ahead and lay the points here with SMU. Give me the Mustangs at home against the Hokies. I think Hokies look like a home-away dichotomy team a little bit.
Steam play.
Whoa. A little steam. To tell you what, it's getting a little steamy in here right now in Las Vegas. Man, it was nice yesterday. It was perfect weather here yesterday, 69 degrees. Perfect day. All right, Charlotte is taking the steam here right now. The 49ers are taking the steam in their matchup today with Tulsa. Charlotte was getting 4.5 points, but they are taking the steam here against the Golden Hurricane, and they're down to 3 right now. 1.5 point move there. Charlotte just took the steam. Let's go back to the SEC. I said we got to try to get some of these undefeated teams in, and hey, when you're only favored by 5.5, I'm ready to do it. Vanderbilt comes in here 16-0 right now, and man, Vanderbilt, they're the powerhouse school in the whole country right now in Nashville. What a vibrant scene, Nashville. Where's Blake? Here, is it time to fade Vandy here against Texas on the road in Austin right now? Texas comes in off of a win here last time out over Alabama, 92-88 on the road. Remember, they were getting 11.5, pulled off the upset, although they lost at Tennessee. They lost against Mississippi State at home, and they also failed to cover against Eastern Shore when they were laying 33, won by 23. But for Vandy here, they've been winning and covering everything pretty much, although they did not cover that last game against LSU. They won by 11, laying 14.5. Doesn't matter. Vandy is 5-1 against the spread on the road this season, 9-3 against the spread as a favorite. Texas has been an okay favorite here, or an okay spread team, 9-7. ATS are 7-2 straight up at home, but Texas just 2-3 straight up as an underdog. Vandy mentioned they're 16-0. They've been underdogs 4 times this season, but they have obviously they haven't lost, but they have been underdogs a few times this season, but those days feel like they're long gone. Let's see what you think of this one here with Vandy and Texas here tonight. Is this going to finally be the Vandy with the bubble burst? Vandy here just 2-4 though in some of these conference games of late. ATS they covered again, or I'm sorry, let's see, 3-4. ATS, is that right? They've been covering them all here except for that LSU game, though, of late. They covered against Alabama. They covered against South Carolina. They covered against Wake. So Texas has won here 10 of 16. They're 10-6 coming in. They've gone over in 9 of their last 11 games, over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Also in conference play so far, it's been all overs, I'm pretty sure, here for Texas so far coming into this one. Looking right now, we know, of course, Vandy's on top of the standings here at 3-0 right now. Texas here comes in with a record of 1-2 straight up in conference play. Florida 3-1, A&M 3-1, and that's the top of the charts right now in the SEC. Let's go to the chat with you guys with this matchup here. And one of the featured games of the night, for sure. All right. LALB was out grilling last night. Greg likes Vandy to win this one, but maybe not cover. I think he likes Texas here in the matchup. Should mention also here right now that the total, let me see. Let me move the total up a little bit here to 167. So definitely saw a move here on that widely reported Steam. I think we were on the air, right, with that one? There we go. Yeah, I think we were on the air when that Steam came through. Look, Texas is 8-3 to the over at home so far. Vanderbilt's 4-2 to the over on the road. Okay, let's see here. Commodores for LALV. And Greg says on ESPN game, Texas is going to play hard. Whatever happened to the Longhorn Network? That didn't last but a few years. But yeah, I know when the SEC, when Texas joined the SEC, there went the Longhorn Network. All right, Stand on Biz liking the over in this one. Cash King Vandy on the money line. LALV is on the over here. Greg says Texas plus the points is sure money. R. Tomps is on Vanderbilt. Robert here, Texas tonight. Texas team total says Stand on Biz. I imagine he means the over. Texas on the spread for 9. Legacy, Public Enemy liking Vandy and lay it. LALV on the over as well. Greg says Texas could win. And Greg says Durant was Texas's best basketball player. Yeah, I think that's fair. That'd be fair. Okay. And let's see here. Oh, I'll make my call, I guess, in this one. A good game here, man. You don't let it end, Vandy. Don't let it end. They're still favored, but it does feel like a tough game, man. I think Texas, maybe they won't win, but man, I'm going to take Texas here at home plus the points. I'm going to take the Longhorns in this one. All right, I got some good West Coast action here. I feel like now, just here the spread's a little big with UOP taking on Santa Clara here tonight, but Santa Clara favored by 13, and the total 151.5. But look, Pacific's had a pretty good record here so far, and you look at the current standings right now. I think let me bring it up here. Okay, for Santa Clara, they are 5-1 behind undefeated St. Mary's and Gonzaga so far this season. But Pacific hanging in there at 3-3 right now, and big underdog on the road. But I did want to cover this game a little bit. Both St. Mary's and Gonzaga are off tonight, and Gonzaga actually plays a non-conference game tomorrow night against Washington, or non-conference, a conference game tomorrow against Washington State. It's hard to condition that, and then you're going to condition again when the teams go into the Pac-12. Well, Gonzaga is going to be in the Pac-12 next season in basketball with Washington State. So here we go. Take a look at this one with Santa Clara here. Santa Clara comes in here 7-5. ATS at home. Pacific 2-3. ATS is an underdog on the road. Santa Clara's won them all at home so far. Pacific just 2-7 on the road. Santa Clara is 10-5 to the over as a favorite. Meanwhile, Pacific 7-10 to the under so far this season. Pacific has failed to cover in 5 of their last 6. They've gone under here, as I said, in a lot of these games right now, but Santa Clara has always given them a problem. Not only straight up, of course, they never beat them, but not only are they 1-8 against the spread against Santa Clara in the last 9 meetings, they're also 1-8 against the spread. Why would you want to take UOP here with those numbers? Santa Clara here, 4-2 ATS in their last 6. 9 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Santa Clara has gone over in 6 of their last 7. The two teams did meet last season here at Santa Clara. It was 83-49. Santa Clara won as a 17-point favorite. Pacific is a little bit better this year. That's why they're getting the preview coverage here. But the game also at Pacific was a 31-point victory for Santa Clara. So let's see what you got here in this one. But I want to take a peek here at Santa Clara right now and see what you guys have here maybe in the chat, and then I'll give out my play for you. Down with UOP? Looks like a blowout to me, says Greg. He's got an 87-73, which is actually right on the spread, but that's an over for Greg. I think that's more important. I think Greg likes the over. Robert is on the under. LALV says Pacific plus the points to be specific. And 9 Legacy Santa Clara on the spread, full game over. LALV on the under here. And you're right, Greg, Santa Clara. It's almost like a Gonzaga light, right? All right. Sure thing, Stand On. Man, we got this great card here. What is it, Temple in Memphis? Let me make sure I circle that here. I think we can double back on that and make a little preview of that game. Maybe here. There it is, 741, 742. Let's do it right away, shall we? I think we're kind of done with this one. Like I said, it's gonna pretty tough. It feels like right here for Pacific in this one, right? I mean, the one that they did cover, I will say, it was back in 2023, January 3 years ago. Santa Clara won 95-89 Pacific won at Santa Clara 95-89. Other than that, it's all Santa Clara and it's all covers. And look, we know Santa Clara's been just as good as they've been laying. In fact, they laid more points than this in a lot of those games. So take Santa Clara here in this one. All right, let me do it here. Let me do it for Stand on Biz. We'll just type in the banner here, go on the fly with Temple on the road here, a dog at Memphis tonight. Memphis here, minus 7.5, I think. Let's see here, 741, 742, 7.5, 146.5. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here in this one. It took it up from 7.5 up to from 144.5 up to 146.5 here in this one between the Owls and the Tigers. If you remember, I've talked about Mikey Williams on some of these shows, and how he was going to go to Memphis, and that didn't work out. And then he was going to go to Central. Mikey Williams has ended up at Sacramento State. He's absolutely lighting it up. It's just, he's not a team player. He's a very selfish player. They can't win. Sacramento State, one of the worst teams in the country. Now, Mikey Williams, he's lighting it up, but they can't win. He takes all the shots, he does it all there. And, he's just not a team player, but it's great for him. And maybe he'll find his way to another school here over the time right now. But I stand behind my comments there about Mikey Williams, and it all came to a heed. They had, after I wrote up, I don't know how I got on this rant, but just because Mikey Williams goes to Memphis, but just because I watched him the other night, he had another big game. He was going 30 points or something like that. But, I had a problem with Mikey once he turned 18. I called him out a little bit for some of his actions. Didn't do it when he was a younger player. I wrote a lot of coverage of Mikey Williams, pumping him up and everything. And sure enough, when I became critical of one of his actions, when he dunked over a kid and stepped on his arm on purpose, I called them out. Well, they blocked me. His coaches blocked me. His account blocked me as well. After everything that I did, not that I did for him. I wrote a story about his first game as a high school player. I said, "Watch, this is Mikey Williams, a kid everybody was talking about when he was 12 years old, and he came up and played one of my teams, and rolled out as a freshman." Turned out the game and won it. And I said, "Man, this guy looks great. What a great looking kid so far," and continue to follow him a little bit. But hey, you know what? He got big for his britches. Everybody knows about the incident. He had the gun incident out there by where I used to work. And let me just get on with it. All right, here we go, Temple. Maybe I was trying to buy some time here so I could get this game loaded up here for Stand On. And hey, you guys want to block me? That's fine. Where are we now? I'm right here with 63 people on the Sports Money Network talking college basketball, and Mikey Williams had to go to Sacramento State, and they can't even win a game. All right, Temple comes in here, the hot team, obviously, right now on a winning streak here, but they're an underdog in this one, so got to make note here of that, despite wins here over ECU, UTSA, Charlotte. They beat Princeton. They didn't cover, though, in that one. Also win over Davidson. They've been good straight up for sure. They're 11-5 coming in here, but 6-8-1 against the spread. Dare I say Temple's been overrated a little bit coming in. Temple's just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 overall, despite a 7-game winning streak. Temple's 4-0-1 though against the spread. The last 5 meetings against Memphis, 2 teams met here in Memphis last February. Memphis won it 90-82 as a 15-point favorite, did not cover. Temple won the home game last year 88-81 as a 7-point dog against the Tigers. Memphis is always great at home. They've won 16 of 18 dating back to last year, but those 2 losses were actually this year at home. They lost here a couple of games already. So far this season. Let me see, I got it here right. UNLV, they lost an early season game too, and they lost to Vandy in overtime, though, back in mid-December. So they previously were terrific. And look, Penny's did a great job here, but right now, Memphis, this is a down year so far. And they just lost to FAU last time out. They started the conference season 2-0 with wins over North Texas and Rice, but they didn't cover in those games. In fact, in conference play so far, they're 0-3 ATS. So see what you got here, though, in this one. Temple taking on Memphis. Memphis has won 5 straight meetings at home against Temple. Memphis has also gone over in 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two. That widely reported steam came in on the over. But Temple's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games coming in. So stand on, it's on you. You called it. You get to make the first pick here, or maybe some others already did, but I haven't quite looked just yet. Let me get my pick. I didn't have this one loaded up yet for the preview, but I can look at my numbers here and I know what I'm doing. Yep, I'm chasing that steam. I'm chasing that steam on the over at 146.5 here. Looks like I'm a steam chaser today, guys. You won't get rich chasing that steam unless you get it right and you're paying a tax, but I'm doing it here. Give me the over. Maybe Stand On's got the side for us. Let's go to the chat. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see here. Greg likes Memphis here, but he's got Temple covering for sure in this one. He's got it 75-72, but laying 7, that ain't going to do it. He fumbled the bag. He fumbled the gun. He almost, you don't just go shooting in random directions unless you're ice. Okay, here's Robert. He likes the over here. Greg says sprinkle a little Temple money line. They're the hot team, right, coming in. How about the Owls here for LALV? Can Penny find a way to win, says Greg. R. Thompson's liking Temple here plus those points. So is 9 Legacy. Hello to Kelly in the chat. Look at this, Kelly. See, Kelly, I should do a better job at reading the comments. I mean, people say like, how to interact with it. Kelly's so great. I've been trying to hit the like button on Kelly's likes here. Maybe that's one thing I don't do well. I'm a ghoster. Mike knows it. Actually, it's not a ghoster at all. I go to bed. I go to bed, sleep my 2 or 3 hours. I'm out. LALB on the over here. Greg says Temple definitely will cover, if not win. And let's see. Kelly says Penny under 8 points was okay. I think we should talk about Memphis, right? When Penny's coaching under 8 points. Is that what you're saying there? Stand on Biz. He likes Temple and the points there. So he likes that role that Temple is on a little bit right now. Look, they're not covering here, but they're winning, right? And you're going against a Memphis team that's, obviously favored by, pretty big points here. Kelly says, my first thought was over in the Memphis game. James Parm likes Memphis on the money line. And Stand on liking what he sees from this Temple outfit here right now. He was talking there about this situation here. I think, okay, let's see here. Temple underrated, says Greg. See, I think Temple is overrated, right? I mean, they're 11-8 straight up, but 6-8 against the spread. So they're not covering when people are expecting them to. Hello to Mr. Westers in the chat. Public Enemy likes under in this one Memphis game. Right, that's going to do it for that one. All right. And let's see here. I think I got a couple more here. I got to go to this one, guys, with Nevada taking on Utah State. Now, another big spread, but you look at the standings right now, or just maybe more the significance of this game in the Mountain West standings here today. Utah's atop the standings, as I said, with my San Diego State right now. A little bit of breaking news here right now. Just we were talking about John Morant. He will be out of Thursday's game against Orlando. Right now, they've just released this information. You can get on it here as soon as they turn out those lines, right? Some books may have released the lines for Thursday's game, probably not many, but John Morant will be missing tomorrow night's game with that calf injury that just in off the high-speed sports wire. Okay, so got to take a look here, though, at Utah State here in this one. At home, a 13-point favorite over Nevada. But like I said, still a somewhat significant game here currently in the standings. I mean, Utah State is rolling here and looking pretty good. I admit they are looking a little bit better than San Diego State right now. I got to be a little bit honest with myself. I mean, I was actually surprised that San Diego State's gotten off to this undefeated start. But for Utah State here, 13-point favorite and total 152.5. Utah State coming in 14-1. They're on a winning streak. Nevada's been looking good too. I mean, they're 12-4. They did lose to my Aztecs a few nights a week ago, and then bounced back with a win over Wyoming. Utah State's 8-6 against the spread, 8-5 against the spread as a favorite. Nevada's 4-3 against the spread as an underdog here in this one. So both teams kind of trending over here this season. They're combined 17-13 to the over. Utah State's 8-5 to the over as a favorite. This one on CBS Sports Network tonight. Utah State's only loss was to South Florida on the road. South Florida's about a top 75 team. They haven't played the toughest schedule in the world, Utah State, but Calhoun's got this team looking so good again here, just like last year. He's done a great job in his first 2 years here with the program. Utah State's 5-0, San Diego State's 5-0, Nevada's 4-1, and big game here for Nevada as well, even though they're a big underdog here. Let's see what you think with Nevada and Utah State. Utah State did win the game here last year, 90-69, as a 6-point favorite in that one, although Nevada won the game at home 69-64 as a 3.5-point dog in that one. That was a New Year's Eve game last year, meaning, not 15 days ago, but 377 days ago. How's that? All right. Good game, though, here in the Mountain West tonight. I mean, Nevada is still a pretty good team. They've lost 8 of the last 11 meetings against Utah State. Nevada just 2-5 ATS in their last 7 on the road, despite the fact they've won 8 of their last 9. Utah State's on a 7-game winning streak. They've won 10 straight at home, coming into this one dating back to last year. Also, 11 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams have gone over when playing here in Logan, and Utah State has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Let's hear from you in the chat in this game tonight with Utah and Nevada. Look, San Diego State's playing at Wyoming tonight. Should be a tough game, as I said, but Wyoming missing those players, that does help here. So come on, Nevada. I don't know if they'll win, but be rooting for them anyway. For me in this one, though, I got to go under here at 150. Is it still 152? Yeah, okay. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if is it because I'm talking? I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few seconds we hear the steam moving at Utah State, because look at this thing. It's down here as we speak. I was just about to say, I'm going under. And it's at 150 right now at Circus. So it's gone down 2.5 points here in about the last 5 minutes. Just as we're talking, if I wasn't here talking to you guys, I'd be betting these games and saving 2 points. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to talk to you guys, and I'm going to take the under here, even if it's at 150 right now with Utah State and Nevada. I could hit all these moves here. Some people make a living off of chasing the steam off of slow books, believe it or not. You're not supposed to pound them. You just kind of take your money. All right, you guys got some comments on this one in the chat. Thank you very much. Here we go with Greg here likes Utah State maybe to cover here. He's got them by 14. And look at him. He had the total under there a little bit. Nevada doesn't have a chance to stay close, says Greg. Robert Dixon. Hi, Robert. It must be Robert Dixon time. Always checking in with me. Great to see Robert in the chat. And he's got the under with me in this one. He even had the right spread there. LALV's on Utah State. 9 Legacy says Nevada on the spread. Robert going under here with me today. LALV says, let's hit the grill, Ramon, but go under. Says, let's go. It's only 53 degrees right now, but it's going to be a great, beautiful day here in the region. And Greg says Utah in the under, and LALV has Utah State to smash in this one. I've got one more on the books here. And we're going to check in on Duke, taking on Cal at Berkeley, with Duke favored in this one by 12.5. And the total here is 152.5. Might be down to 12 here a little bit. Duke opened here as, a couple books opened it kind of high, but consensus was a little bit lower than this. In fact, I'm showing this thing as kind of a move on Duke. Duke comes in 15-1 right now. Cal 13-4. Say what you want about Cal here right now and what they've done with Coach Madsen here. Hey, it's no joke. I think Coach Madsen's done a pretty good job here with the Bears. They've lost 3 of their last 4, but they rolled through that non-conference schedule. It might have been pretty easy, but they have lost back-to-back games here. They were on the road against Virginia and Virginia Tech, so didn't look too good in those games, but they did cover against Virginia Tech in that last one, 78-75. They also lost to Louisville at home. They beat Notre Dame at home, though. 72-71, didn't cover though. They were 3.5-point favorite. They also lost to Kansas State earlier this season. Other than that, they beat all comers. Not a tough schedule, although they did beat UCLA for an impressive win. That's been their marquee win of the season. Was not a conference game anymore. UCLA didn't care, I guess. But for Duke here, meanwhile, they've won 4 straight over Georgia Tech, Florida State, Louisville, and SMU. But struggling here against the spread right now are the Dukies, just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. But Cal's 3-6-1 in their last 10 coming into this one. Duke has won 7 straight on the road, dating back to last season. Cal 13-1 at home, straight up in their last 12-1 straight up at home this season so far. So Cal so far in the ACC does go over quite a bit. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7 conference games coming in, but so far 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10. Here we've obviously just gotten conference play kind of underway. You look at the standings in the ACC right now. Duke 4-0, half a game behind Clemson. Cal, meanwhile, here hanging in there a little bit, 1-3 with that 1 win, but maybe at home they could be a little better, getting a dozen points here from Duke today. Let's hear from you in the chat. And I want to see what you guys have in this one. Duke's gone over in 5 of their last 6. And I think the college segment is over. You guys got a couple games on the ice here to go. Man, are we going to spend 3 hours here together? All right, I think Duke's going to roll here actually over Cal, but let's see what you guys have in this one. All right, and it's going to be – I think Cash Kane likes the under here in this one. LALV likes Cal plus the points. I think Greg might be favoring Duke here as well. He's got an 82-71 there. And let's see. It says Duke's been shaky covering here of late. Yeah, you can say that again. Hey, here's Steve Leftarian joining us. He's got Cal in the first half, +7. Great call, Steve, there. Robert says Duke lay the points. And 9 Legacy, I think, says Duke on the spread here. And Kelly says Cal's usually bad as a favorite, good as a dog here, and that's looks to be the case here right now. They're 3-2 against the spread as an underdog here so far. Public Enemy Duke on the money line. And Greg says Cal's going to hang in there for a minute until the end and then pull off. All right. We Do's here. Hi, We Do. Nice to see We Do. And LALB's on the over. I think that's going to do it for the college basketball segment. What a fun time that was. Big card. Fun time. We're going to quickly go now to the hockey tonight. We got a 4-game card on the ice here. So let's get to it. And then we'll wrap up the show. All right. Started off here. Oops. Hey, let's get it rolling here right now with Seattle taking on New Jersey here to get us going. Man, Seattle continues to look good. Yeah, they lost a couple, but they bounced back last time out with a win against those Rangers, of course. I mean, Seattle was on the road after all. So they beat the Rangers a couple of nights ago 4-2 to snap a 2-game losing streak. They lost to Carolina and Minnesota. Nothing wrong with that. The Kraken have been one of the hotter teams going here right now, and seems like no end in sight as far as their surge here a little bit in the Pacific Division. Doing a great job here right now. Seattle's won 6 of their last 7 on the road, 9 of their last 12 overall. Now they have lost 5 straight games to the Devils. Let me fire up the goalie computer, make sure we got everything going, because I think we might see a different goalie here.
Team play.
Oh. Hey, we got some pro basketball steam here, guys. Denver and Dallas. Hey, I already gave out the under in this game, and now here comes the steam on the under in the game between Denver and Dallas. It was 224 when we were talking about it, right? Then it went back up to 226, and they hit it again back down to 224. So a little bit tricky there, but the steam just came in on the under at 226. Right now it's at 224.5 at circa. So steam came in on the under there a little bit, but also we did get some injury updates here on some other NBA games right now. In fact, within the last couple of minutes, Kelly Oubre, he is probable for the Sixers with a knee sprain. And also just into the high-speed sports wire right now with some information here. Toronto, Garrett Temple is questionable. He's under the weather here right now. And so we already said, and this is right up when you hear Mikey Money talk about it, right? We already said Mamu Kalashvili is also sick. Temple is sick. You know what they say, when 2 guys are sick, everybody's sick right now. So quite a little bit of concern there, I think, for Toronto. But that just in. Okay, here we go with this one. I got to update this because Markstrom is likely the goalie here for the Devils today. So at least let's pop that in there. There we go. Yeah, Jacob Markstrom looks like he'll be in. He was in the starters crease already this morning. Markstrom just 11-10 with a 3.41 goals against average and just an 88% save percentage so far this season. Man, Seattle's been clicking, but New Jersey does own them still. Seattle's look. They've had they haven't really broken through as a franchise. If anything, they've overachieved over these first few years. They've done a really good job here, and they're looking pretty good right now. But as an underdog here, you got to think they're probably pretty live. These 2 teams have been solid unders so far. You got Seattle 17-22 to the under as an underdog, and they're underdogs quite a bit. Also, Devils here 10-16 to the under as a favorite, 8-13 to the under at home, and they've been putting up a few unders here of late, 11 of the last 15. Also, 5 straight meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. New Jersey's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home. See what you got in this one, but it seems like trend-wise, we know where we're going. Is it good enough for you? It might be good enough for me. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here in this one. I got to go under with the Kraken and the Devils here at 6 under at -1. 15. Let me see if that's still the line here. Yeah, pretty much. Give me the under here with Seattle and New Jersey here tonight. Let's take a look at what you guys got in the chat. And we've got Robert Kraken. Let's get Kraken, says Robert. He's on the Kraken. LALV might be on the over, I think, in this one. Greg says Devils should win 3-2. Robert's with me on the under. Art Tom says go under in this one. Public Enemy says Devils on the money line and under. Mr. Westford says a tricky line here with New Jersey favored, right? They do, like I said, they've won 5 straight against them. They did have not played yet this season, although last year the meeting here in New Jersey won it 3-2, and they also won at Seattle 3-2. LALV is on the Kraken on the money line, and LALV is on the under. Give me the under as well, but man, that Kraken plus money. Look, they've been playing well on the road. They've been playing well, period. In New Jersey, they've had their issues here of late. They just did beat Minnesota on the road 5-2, but that snapped a losing streak here. So they also lost to Winnipeg in a game. They were an underdog in that game against Winnipeg. And we were on Winnipeg and said, hey, we don't care about the 10-game losing streak. Take Winnipeg, and they won it. Next up, the Flyers are on the road here, taking on the Sabres. Oh, man, how about this? Sabres did lose one. They lost another one. What's going on, Sabres? They've lost 2 games here in the past month. They're favored here in this one. They lost to Florida. Nothing wrong with that. They were at home. It was a great game there the other night. It actually went it was regulation. What happened was, remember, Florida got off to the lead. Buffalo then tied it 2-2, and then Florida, I think, won it there late. I think it was 3-3, and they won it 4-3. Snapped Buffalo's 3-game winning streak. But I think you got Luukkonen. Let me take a look here. Luukkonen, yeah, he's in there in this one for sure. He was in the starter crease this morning. He's 9-6-1 with a 2.63 goals against and a 90.5% save percentage for Pekka Luukkonen for the Flyers here. Maybe it'll be Vladar in this one. Philadelphia is on a 3-game losing streak. They did just lose back-to-back games at home to Tampa. They also lost to Toronto here at home as part of the 3-game losing streak. Flyers haven't been, they're 11-18 as a dog here. Flyers 19-10 to the over as an underdog. Buffalo may be an under team, but they are 12-8 to the over as a favorite. Buffalo, look at how things have changed, right? With Buffalo here favored. The 2 teams met in February. Buffalo was favored in that one too on the road at the time, 5-3. Maybe it was a sign of things to come. They also met here. They also met in Philly, and Philly won that one 5-2. So Buffalo came back to win at home 5-3. Buffalo's won 13 of their last 15, as mentioned, 6 of their last 7 at home. Philly has dropped 4 of their last 6. They've also lost 6 of their last 8 games to Buffalo. And, Buffalo hasn't been, face it, I mean, this is the glory days right now for Buffalo comparatively the last few seasons. So things are going good. I got to take Buffalo in this one. Philly has gone over in 5 of their last 7 and 5 of their last 7 on the road. You got to figure this is a scoring fest, and Buffalo wins it 4-3. Greg Gibson will say, I haven't even looked at the chat yet, but I'm going to say Greg Gibson says 4-3 Buffalo. I can't prove it to you, but they're my hands. All right, I'm going to take the Sabres here to win. Why not? They've done us good. We feel like we were on the Sabres run here a little bit in the chat for sure. Let's see what we got though in this one. And thank you, We Do, for your comments in there. Here we go. Flyers and Sabres, Public Enemies going over. Buffalo 4-3, says Greg Gibson. At 9, Legacy says Devils on the money line. Art Thompson is on the over in this one. Greg says you got to take Buffalo. I mean, even if they lost, right? You're just playing with house money on Buffalo here at this point. We've already kind of talked about, and also LALV on the Sabres. So we already talked about how Buffalo. Funny, you think of this streak that they're on, but that just shows you how good the Atlantic Division is too. Buffalo can't even get out of sixth place despite this incredible run that they're on because everyone in the Atlantic is so good. Cash Game does like the Devils here, minus the points, and LALV on the over here as well. So, um, like I said, Buffalo, they're up 4.5 units at home with a record of 14, 6, and 2. But man, that just shows you how good this division is. I mean, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Montreal, Boston, Toronto, all ahead of Buffalo. Florida's behind Buffalo now. And they're not terrible either. Man, what a division the Atlantic is, huh? All right. Senators on the road taking on the Rangers. Rangers are at home. What do we do when the Rangers are at home? Do we take Ottawa? It might be a little bit tougher here because Ottawa's been sucking as well. But hey, Ottawa did win last time out over Vancouver, 2-1 at home. They played okay. They got it done in that one. Over Vancouver, but Rangers here, they've lost 4 straight again, including 3 of the 3 straight at home right now, losing at home to Utah. They were actually a dog in that game. Lost to Buffalo at home 5-2, lost to Seattle, as we mentioned. They lost to Boston, of course, remember, on the road. And now, Jonathan Quick, poor Jonathan Quick, here just trying to pick up the slack for this team. And he has to play every game right now because of the absence of Shesterkin here. And he's the one that gave up those 10 goals. They couldn't even take him out at the time because they were so shorthanded. Quick is 3-9-2 with a 2.8 goals against and 89.8 save percentage. Reimer here in goal for Ottawa tonight. A little bit of news there in that one for Reimer here to come in here with the Senators. So let's see here as Reiner gets signed. They signed a 1-year deal here to join Ottawa. Doesn't seem like a bad call here right now to sign a guy like Reimer. Going to get about 850 minutes of the season here. Allmark, he's been on leave for the last 2 weeks with some issues here. We know Mike, you was talking about this Senators team. He was cracking me up there yesterday with with this team. But Marilanen's been in there. I think he was in there in the game there yesterday against Vancouver there. So Reimer is going to be the guy here right now, the 37-year-old, of course, a former Maple Leafs goaltender for a few years, but more than a few years, I know that, but also he's played for Florida, Carolina, San Jose, Detroit, Anaheim, and Buffalo now. Has kind of been going along. He's been with Bellevue here for a little bit. Also played in the Spengler Cup in Switzerland last month for Canada. So we'll see. A good pickup here, it seems like, for the Senators. I mean, look, I'm making fun of them because they have a little bit of a losing streak, but, they've had a few moments here for sure. The Senators have played some pretty decent games here, just not recently. Rangers also terrible, terrible here right now. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Ottawa has lost 4 of their last 5. Rangers have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here coming in. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here at MSG have gone under, but Ottawa's gone over in 8 of their last 11 on the road, but the Rangers have gone under in 15 of their last 21 at home. Rangers have gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. Ottawa's over in 19 of 33 as an underdog. Let's hear from you guys in the chat in this one between Ottawa and the Rangers here tonight, with a couple of veterans in the pipes here tonight. And we'll start it off with Robert is on the Rangers here on the money line. Greg says Senators 4-3 because we know the Rangers are better on the road. I'd argue, though, that they're just worse at home because right now, I mean, I think the fact that the Rangers they've started to lose some of those road games, it kind of exposes them to really what they are, and that is a last place team right now in the Metro at this point. Let's see. Oh, 9 Legacy said Flyers on the money line back from that other game. Kelly's here says Ottawa's got goalie issues with Reimer, expected to get his first start of the season. She says, should we go over in this one? R. Tomps likes the over here. Public Enemies on the Senators. LALV's on the Rangers. LALV also on the over here. And Kelly says that both teams to score 2 in regulation. Parlay it up. And let's see here also. Greg says fade the Rangers until they hit the road again. They're the bottom of the barrel. 9 Legacy says Rangers on the money line. All right. I think that does it for that one. Oh, I'll go with Ottawa. I'll just take Ottawa here again and keep fading these Rangers right now. Let's go, Ottawa. Let's go, James Reimer. Not like we're throwing some rookie in there, right, Kel? I mean, this guy's been there and done that. And look, I love Quickie, but he's looking more older than. But they got to deal with it. They got to use Quick here. Finally tonight, we've got a good one in the Pacific with the Kings taking on the Knights here in a battle of teams in the Pacific. Kings are in 5th place right now, not doing that great, but the Knights have won 4 straight here, wins over Winnipeg, Columbus, St. Louis, and San Jose, all in impressive fashion. In fact, they've outscored their opponents here 18-10 over the last 4 games, all wins. They cover the puck line every time. They're actually an underdog against Winnipeg, but Vegas here, 11-5 straight up on the road. They're another one of those teams better on the road than they are at home. For the Kings, meanwhile, 7-10 at home so far this season. Kings are coming in here of late. Take a look at the current trends, but the Kings have gone over in 8 of their last 9 games, and the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Kings have gone over in 5 of their last 6 here at home. Vegas has gone over in 9 of their last 12 and over in 5 of their last 6 on the road here right now. Now, Vegas has lost here. How many in a row has it been to the Kings right now? It's a slump for sure. I think they've lost 5 straight right now, has Vegas to Los Angeles here. Last meeting was 6-5, I want to say, in favor of the Kings. Here they played last March in Vegas, 6-5. Kings got the win. Game here in last February. This is basically early last season, or mid season. So Kings have kind of had their number a little bit here of late. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here in this one with the Golden Knights on the road taking on those Kings. 2 of my favorites. Okay, here we go. Cash Kane, Vegas money line, and the over. And Knights to crown the Kings, 3-2. Public Enemies on the over here. Roberts on the Kings. LALV's on the Kings. And LALV's on the over. And Kelly says 2 goals each and tie regulation. 2-2 tie at the end of regulation, says Kelly. And she's like Stoney for an anytime goal here. LALV says first period over, 1.5. I'm taking the Golden Knights tonight on the road to beat the Kings. Give me BGK on the road here to wrap up the show. Want to thank everybody for an incredible show. And we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific with more morning steam as we get ready for the action on Thursday. We start to ramp up for our football weekend as well here. So thanks for joining me. Hey, get more plays from me today over at winnable.com/Ramon. Hopefully gave you a bunch of winners here over the last nearly 3 hours of coverage, but I'll have more plays sent out here. Probably have an afternoon release of a college basketball card, maybe around 3 p.m. Eastern for a big night tonight. I mean, you can expect probably 7 or 9 plays here on the release when you subscribe over at winnable.com. Probably have a couple of hockey, a couple of basketball, but man, I whiffed there last couple of nights. So we'll focus maybe on college ball again and tennis. I'm going to have to come back and get some tennis winners here. Some great action this week, and Australia and New Zealand and Hong Kong. So see what you got here. Subscribe over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Let Mikey tell you all about it.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, thank you, Mikey. Yeah, head on over to winnable.com/Ramon and check me out over there. Looks like this when you get there. Premium picks from Ramon. You scroll on down here. Make sure you just sign up for the free picks there. I try to send out a pick or two every day, but subscribe for a week here. Subscribe for a month. Don't listen to that. Subscribe for a month at $19.95, but use that promo code, and then you got Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever you want. And hey, I only charge you for what you want. Hey, we're going to do the drawing here right now to see who wins one free month of picks over at Winnable. So thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the show. Have a great sports betting day. Oh, I missed our Thompson. There was on the Kings game under. I got to say everyone, because I hope you guys, I'm going to try to find a way to do this. I don't know where I'm going to publish it, but like I said, I was grabbing the chat and throwing it through the AI, and then the AI turns it into a story. And then at the end, it's like, Ramon said this about all the trends and everything. And then at the end, it's like, showed all of your picks. I thought, this is great. And I think everyone enjoys seeing it. And then we have more of a record of all the picks in the chat too. I know if we flash up on screen, I love doing that and showing everybody's plays, and because people want to see what other people are on. But man, if they could get that, if I can get that to work there. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Let me do the drawing here and see who wins. Fernando, thank you. He likes Senegal today in the African Cup of Unders there in that big matchup here that's already underway, so you can get on it before it gets too out of control. Senegal, pretty big favorite here against Egypt. Kind of, I don't say surprising there. Hey, we got one more Steam play before we get out of here, huh? Tulsa and Charlotte. Here's some Steam. We already said Charlotte took the Steam. How about the under here with Tulsa and Charlotte? It was 151, but the Steam's coming in right now. Tulsa and Charlotte here. And right now we're seeing this one move lower here to 148. 3-point move here. Some of the books are lagging here a little bit. Charlotte taking under here in that one between Tulsa and Charlotte. And thank you to Fernando over Senegal right there. I'm going to be putting that one on here in just a second. All right, here we go. Let's do the drawing. See who wins. Nicholas, Andrew, Spenny, Nine Legacy, Stand on Biz, Robert Dixon, We Do, Fernando, Jimmy Knows, Thomas Lewis, winners Parma Jake. Parma Jake wins. I'll put another month on Parma Jake's subscription there, or I think he's in there for sure. If not, use the promo code WINNER to save 20% off those premium pick packages, including my monthly service. So Parma Jake, thank you for great contributions every day here on the Morning Steam. That's going to do it. All right. Really appreciate it. Make sure you tune in with Mikey today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action on pre-gaming, and he'll make you laugh again like he was yesterday talking about Ottawa. Naughty, naughty boys. And we'll be back here tomorrow on the Morning Steam Show. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the